Hey, what's up, everybody? I'll give it a few minutes for more people to join before I start. And as the title says, I'm definitely not getting through all the matches today. I'm just probably going to do a few. So I will likely get through Garpy and Maxter for sure. And then if I hit any of day 3, just kind of depends on how I'm feeling before dinner. So yeah, so we'll get through. We'll review the first game, and I'll probably get some more water, take the dog out, and then get to the second one. So that's what today is going to look like. I'm probably not going to play today. Uh, just just taking a chill day. So yeah, figured I'd do this. People have been asking for stuff like this for a while, and yeah, no, better late than never. Seth C, thank you. Thank you. Roof hunt. Okay. All right. See ya. Rewatch the rail clip from for you. No, no, thank you. I watch that on my own every now and then just to be like, you know what? Everybody has an off day. Even me. Hunt, thanks for the 17-month resub. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. Okay. And obviously, if there's like any problems with audio or something, just please let me know. I'll have my chat open on my phone so that I can see you guys. But yeah, because I won't have the chat open on here since I'm doing display capture. So.
Just one more and the belt will be for Rafis. Really enjoyed watching all your games.
Yo, Kamsish, thank you for the 26-month resub. Yeah, man. Hopefully, I can complete the quote unquote Grand Slam or whatever from QuakeCon to QuakeCon, you know. That'd be something really special. I'll definitely be putting in the work. All right, well, I'll start soon, Stoned. No, thanks, Hell. It was good to see you good to see you put up a good fight, man. You know, sometimes the not every relegation game is matches very close. Some of them are, but it was good to see that yours were really close for pretty much every single one of them. Yeah, it's just same thing for you as always, bud. You just gotta time a bit better and like you just gotta know when to dial it back. You just dial it back a little bit at the right time so you can secure all the items. You'd have definitely won Deep Embrace, like you were hitting the shit out of Garpy, man. But there are a few times where like you start looking for too much, or you just like I don't know, you just like forget, and so then he gets everything instead. Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people wanted to see Racy and I play again because we had, you know, such a really close final last time. But dude, that set between him and Nosa, holy cannoli, was that a crazy, crazy match. That was awesome to watch. Yeah, dude, Nosa and Maxter, they were both wiling out. And then one thing I'll just clear up, so like whoever watches the VOD, because I know a lot of people uh, unfortunately, due to some production errors or whatever, it wasn't always on the bottom left of the games. It's supposed to show you like which server we're playing on. Sometimes that information was incorrect, like they would forget to change it, or I can't remember what match I was playing. I was playing a match against one of the Europeans, and it definitely against Avec, I think. It definitely started off where against Avec and Wenger, based off of the rule set and how like the ping deltas work. I had to play more matches on EU than NA for those matches. But there were some matches that, based off of the delta, I played more on NA, etc. Yeah, exactly. Saying everybody was like, "Why is it always NA? It's no fair." Blah blah blah. And then just to kind of explain how the rule set goes for the grand finals, it starts on whoever's from the winner bracket. So whoever won the winner bracket, it's whatever their home server would be. If it's like if the delta isn't close enough for us to play on the same server the whole time. So if it was Cypher that was in the winner bracket final, then it would have been EUNA, EUNA, EUNA. So what it does is since essentially you're playing potentially 6 games in the grand final, it rewards the player. It's tough at the start, but it rewards the player from the losers bracket if they make it all the way to the final map. Because if it's on the final map, then it's on their server. So it's like you did your job getting all the way to this point and like a really hard set. So then, this should essentially be like a slight advantage for you. And to be honest, the server advantages, it just depends on the routing during the day. Like there's some times where it feels really good to play on an EU server or a South American server, even though like the South American server for like me is like 140 ping. But then there's just some times where it's just horrible. It's just bad. And then there's times where, I'm the one with low ping against the high ping and it doesn't feel good like it normally does, etc. So it's just a little bit random about like, how good your routing is and, how consistent your connection is during the day. But, you know, at the end of the day, being able to play cross continental in this game is just phenomenal. It really is. Like, I mean, I would have to go in the past, Quake 3, Quake 4, Quake Live, you know, months and months and months without being able to play anybody from Europe. And shit, I never got to play anybody from South America because the pings were even worse. And because it wouldn't even make sense to have them play on an NA server. Like there's just no competition, with the net codes back then. Like the net codes, up to like 60 ping, 70 ping were pretty playable. Excuse me. But anything over that was just a joke. You're just at such a handicap. But, the fact that we can actually compete for the most part, as long as there's not crazy packet loss, at potentially 140 ping, that's pretty remarkable, man. And I'm just really thankful that we've all been able to keep playing throughout, all this COVID shit that's happened the last year and a half now. Well, about a year and a half. It's been really nice to have something to like, to go after and to compete for and to put your energy into rather than just like having nothing at all. So yeah, so really appreciative of that. So enough people are here now. We can go ahead and get started. So obviously my first match was Garpy. He had just come off of a close series with Hell in the relegation match, and I actually had to play Garpy in the previous stage as well for the first game. And the first game is always like a little nerve-wracking because, yeah, even though essentially I'm playing a lesser opponent because of my seed, they have a match where they're already warmed up. Like they're just coming off of a victory, whoever it is, so they're feeling good about themselves. They've had time to play today and they're like in the groove. And so I'm usually, with how it is, I don't normally get like too much warm up at all because everybody is so busy and focused on themselves. So I kind of have to go into the match cold. So going into the match cold against anybody in the QPL, it's really tough because everybody's so good. So if we look at the draft here, Garpy, he decided to ban Veil of Knots, which I was pretty surprised about because he's a player who's really, really good at close combat and rocket play. Here, let me turn this to like full screen first. There we go. All right, so he decided to ban Veil of Nath. Like I said, I was pretty surprised by that. And then I was kind of debating banning between Molten Falls and Ruins. And just because of his play style and the type of champions that he uses tanks, and they're really good on Molten Falls and Ruins. So um, I had a feeling that if I banned Molten, he probably wouldn't pick Ruins first. So that was just kind of my guess going into that. And it ended up paying off because he decided to pick Deep Embrace, which I wanted to leave both of the new maps in. I felt very comfortable with my strategies going into stage playoffs for Deep Embrace and Exile. And so him picking Deep Embrace was welcome for me. I was like, all right, sweet. I get one of my better maps, and I get to choose Corrupted Keep. so I went with that, and then he decided to ban Awoken. And I was like, okay, I want to keep the new map in. I'm going to ban Ruins. And so that was that. And we didn't end up getting to go to the third map, but I really like the champion matchup that I got. Not a lot of people have been playing Eisen and Exile, but Exile is a pretty good map for him if played correctly. And Sorlag is just really good. She's just really good. It's really hard to catch her if you're down. She can create a lot of unique opportunities with Spit because of how the health bubbles are so split. Or like there's only, let's say there's like one health bubble near the major item. So it puts you in a very precarious position if she, covers that health bubble with Spit while you're fighting, because then to collect it, you're gonna take the dot damage anyway. So I picked her instead, and was feeling pretty comfortable if I happened to lose one of these two to go to the third map. And if I remember correctly, for servers for this one, with how the delta worked, it would be NA for this, EU for him, and then NA for me. And the other way to make things fair as well is whoever has the home server. So in this case, between us, it was me, since it would be NA first and third. The player that's the away server that's only played one time, they're the ones that gets to ban first. So they get to ban more champions during the set. Technically, if they wanted to, they get the choice. They could choose to hand it over. Like if they don't like banning first, they like just the format the other way around. But most people decide to ban. It's just like the safer thing to do typically. So that's what people do. And so going into this tournament, I just been having some weird experiences with Keel, like playing as Keel on the recent patch where like games would feel laggier for me, but if I would play a different champion, it would be fine. So I was like, you know what, even though I'm pretty good at Keel, most of the games don't feel that good, and I know a lot of people have been comfortable playing him lately, so I'll just try to pick things that I think are good against him on certain maps and like try to bait people into picking him. And so that's kind of how it worked out here, because he decided to ban Doom, which was a very smart ban, because as of right now, I think I'm undefeated on this map with Doom. So Doom is one of the best picks on Deep Embrace at the moment. So I picked Ranger, who is right up there in like the top 3, top 5 choices on this map. And I just really like Ranger's mobility on this map. And in this matchup, since Keel has all that burst damage up close, you're not really looking to use the orb to do burst damage to him. It'll happen every now and then, but for the most part, you're doing it to be more mobile than him. You're trying to chip him down and kill him a little more slowly than what people are playing tanks are used to. You're trying to control the tempo of the game and really obtain good positioning and make it difficult for him to push and do what he wants and to be a bully. So that's the mindset going into this matchup is, I'm going to need to control the rail like pretty well, and I'm going to need to take like longer distance fights until I chip him down, and then I can try to like go in and pick some closer range fights with LG and try to out aim him and just continue the death cycle of controlling all the armor and whatnot. And then obviously on Corrupted Keep, I banned Scale because I think that he's really good with Scalebearer. And like I said, he loves to play tanks. So I just wanted to get that out of there. I figured if he was going to play another tank after he played this and he played Sorlag, I would have a couple options into it that I like. So I left that open. And then if he played, BJ, if he decided to pick BJ first, I was like, okay, well, I have a couple options that I still think would be okay as well that go into that, because they're like probably the premier picks right now on Corrupted Keep, I would say, are like Scale, Sorlag, Keel. So the 3 tanks, BJ, Strog, and Galena seem to be the premier picks on Corrupted Keep, the big comfort ones that people are liking to play right now. But he decided to play Galena, maybe because of Razy being able to pull out a tight win during the last final in this type of champ matchup. But I actually really like playing BJ into Galena because I tend to play around the totems really well and just use his ability to either gain full control or just burst the shit out of Galena to where she doesn't even have time to lay her totem down in the fight and out sustain him. So, and it's really about not always dual wielding with LG because she has the hitbox advantage. So the only time you want to dual wield LG in this matchup is if you catch the Galena player on the move, like predictably jumping somewhere, so that you're guaranteed to hit the entire time. Because it actually is more difficult, even though you can deal more damage dual wielding LG than with just using one LG. It's actually harder to hit all of it together because there's like a little extra space between the shots, even though you're dealing 12 damage each time you hit. So sometimes with the how hectic the fights get, you don't actually get as much damage. So that's why it's like better to only dual wield LG if you find them in a good trap, or you want to use other guns. You want to use dual wield rockets, dual wield nail, dual wield, especially dual wield shotgun in this matchup is really good as well. So yeah, so I got 2 pretty good picks for me going into this, and Sorlag for the third in case I messed up and had a bad game. So yeah, but let's see how far do we have to fast forward to get into this? Not too far.
Just not ready for.
Go back.
Yeah, fair. One belonging, but you can tell that it's.
Okay, so at the start here, I think. Let's see. Sleep Moody, thank you for the Prime Gaming sub. Thank you. And Kuplin, thank you for the 27-month resub. Appreciate it.
Like biting at his ankles a bit, and so.
I don't remember exactly where I spawn. Okay, so I get a decent spawn for this matchup right now. Rocket jumping around this ranger is really useful since you have the damage reduction passive. And as well as I'm spawning on the rail side of the map. And like I said, going into this matchup, you really need to maintain your distance and you need to rail the shit out of Keel. Rail him, and then if he keeps giving you the angles and he doesn't have rail to fight, well then by all means, just keep railing him to death. But you're trying to get it so that then you can close the gap safely, because then your stack is bigger than his, more so than having a 50-50 matchup with potential, like nades messing you up in the fight and stuff like that. So I got a pretty favorable start in this matchup, and yes, a lot of people like to go for a light armor first, but I didn't want anything tricky to happen, so I think that I just go straight for the heavy. Yep. Just go straight for the heavy and get the rail so that, I don't get surprised by Keel, who has a huge stack, and I'm only like 125 and 50, and if I get caught out at the wrong range and it's not good for rockets, he could just destroy me with machine gun, or if he picked up LG and he's trying to go for one of the armors and I was trying to be cute and get everything, it could just turn around. So I was like, nope, I'm just going to play it safe in this matchup, try to work on, working the weapon advantage.
And as we begin, we can see heavy side spawn belonging to Rafa. A nice little fact that he's able to get most of the weapons.
And so here, I don't really want to look for a fight right now. Yeah, he has LG, and he's holding good position by the light armor that's still available. And I know that he can't pick it up because I heard him pick up the lower one at the beginning of the game, because he spawned by it. So it's not, he's holding good position if I start taking a fight. So I was like, right now, the best thing to do is to just avoid him. I need to either work my way to get an LG and use the orb to get back to heavy side, or, find some free damage on him, like overextending to me.
Here is LG, but that's enough to make something happen here.
I know he might fight here, but so I'm like, okay, if I stay trapped here with all the nades and stuff, it's gonna be a bad time. So I just want to try to deal a little damage and get away, and even if he kills me, it'll be okay, because he'll have to overextend himself to get to me.
A lot of respect to Akil on this kind of map.
So I hit a good rail,
That use of just the bonus damage.
and then I didn't hear him drop, which that happens sometimes, like with all the commotion and probably like the orb noise. So that's why I was looking above and got surprised by LG. But he's trying to chase me down and secure a first kill here,
Positioning on the hourglasses at the
which is
top.
all right. He decided to go towards heavy, and so I know that if he wants to have heavy here, after all the damage that was dealt in the fight, he can't go for rail first. If he goes for rail, he's going to give up heavy and full map control, because then I will beat him to the mega side. So what I want to do here is either just deal a bunch of damage and leave, or maybe get lucky and out LG him because of the hitbox difference and get a kill, and then try to force a bad spawn for him so that I can get the other items.
That fight was Garpies to begin with, and I think a good time.
So here I do a good job dealing a lot of damage, and I know that he can't rail me yet because he didn't have time to get it and then go to heavy. So now it's time for me to back off and collect some shit.
He's done tons of damage already. We back off.
So I collect the armor. I don't even try to collect the 225s because it could expose me to a rail, which would then make us equal. So it's more important for me to be, because you know me, most of the time I like to maximize my health. When I get the mega, I want it to be 175 if possible. Sometimes you just got to take the L. Like taking a little bit of less health is better, because you're not exposing yourself to more damage. And in this case, if I went for the 225s at the murder hole, he would have had the rail angle on me to deal damage. But if I maintain the stack that I have, then I can start bullying him.
As he's able to get both the light armor and that mega on deck. This has been as much of an aggressive start, I think.
Yep, and I know I don't have to deal much damage back, because I dealt so much after the heavy pickup that I've likely taken it away from him. So I just need to just chip him a little bit, try to get control of heavy, because there's so much time in between the two items. And this is how you want to play against Keel. You want to make him weak, and you want to make him useless on the map. Make him overextend himself to try to trade damage and trade his life. And right here, I might even get the kill on him before this armor comes up, and then be able to take it. Yep. So I can't take it because I killed him too cleanly, but that's fine. I could just potentially bait it if he tries to go for it off the spawn. So he hits a good rail, but we're even. I just have the better weaponry at the moment. I have LG and rail compared to just rail and the stock grenades from him. So now I need to try to look to obtain position here. So I know he's trying to go for rockets. I need to see if I can catch him with LG since I have that advantage, or maybe, make myself hard to hit and get some good traded rails so I can win position. And I don't know why he probably thought I was going to the portal and he was gonna get the rocket launcher for free, but he reacted really late to seeing me and RJ'd at a really bad time. And so now he's getting punished for it.
The rail misses though. Hang on a minute. Should have by all means, I think, been
Doesn't hit any extra damage as I fail to jump and then make it. So now I know he's weak, so I just want to chase him and pepper him with shotgun. And I'm choosing shotgun to chase there because I can be more unpredictable with my dodging. I don't want to have to hold the super predictable angle to hit LG and take a bunch of nades around a corner and then he's out of range and shit like that. That's why I know he's weak enough that I can just keep peppering him with shotgun and end up cleaning up the kill. So that damage isn't too bad because I know okay, the light armor's there. He's not going to give up position to take it. I hear him at rail now, so now it's time to try to get position on the heavy possibly. He decides to contest, which is a really weird instance because he only has rockets and rail right now. This would be a good fight if he had LG or shotgun, super shotgun, but I don't think he has either of those. So I put that past him to distract him and create space for me in the fight and get some damage. And so now I got position to get for heavy, but I thought that he might be weak enough that I could rail him and kill him. And that's why I dropped instead of going for the heavy right away. And I miss. And it creates a hairy situation, but that rocket at least pushed him to the right and gave me a chance to just rocket jump and get the heavy. If I was another champion, I would have been 5 health after the rocket jump. But that passive from Ranger is so useful in this map.
Always respect being shown in this position. You know that the spawn is
so here I'm just trying to look for good fights. If anything seems like it's going to be hairy, then I just leave. Because like I said, you want to take the game slow against him. You don't want to be playing fast unless he's like literally giving you the game. You just don't want to. Keel, that's what Keel wants. Keel wants a messy game where he is rushing you off the spawn when you're too weak. You want to be getting kills with a bit more health, so you got to take it a bit slower. And here he's like, you know, I think he thinks that he's okay to take this fight, but in reality he's not. He has to hit some crazy shots.
He wants to be able to shut down this heavy. Nice timing from Garpy though, able to jump in pretty much the second it spawns.
He luckily managed to get heavy, but he's making a big push here, and he's not respecting the orb. Like he's like, you know what? I'm gonna bet you won't hit this like orb combo as you come in, as I come in, and I'm gonna get control back. I said, no, thank you, buddy. A little too predictable in his movement to move in there. He needed to like respect the orb and like dance kind of like back and forth his way into the room instead of trying to just charge in there.
I mean, Rafa's aim, he can just duke it out with the very best in the league. And just, I was about to say the exact same thing. If he had missed that rail and orbed, Garpy would not have died and would have had a really good opportunity at actually getting the frag himself. So everything depended on Rafa landing that shot, and then when he does...
Yep. So there I knew I would have enough time to LG him. Like, either he goes up there and I orb and catch him, or he gets stuck there and I just keep LGing and he's not going to kill me in enough time to rail me, what was it, like two or three times. So I'll get another kill, and then I'll just work the weapon advantage and start giving up some items and just try to stall him for the next heavy. So I know that he's likely, where the route I took, he would likely spawn at LG, which is why I was already looking there. Managed to get the free hit. So now my objective is to get the armor up here, which I know is before heavy, and then start rotating back and just try to slow him down. Yep. So I'm just looking to cut him off. That rail is really huge at the time. And so here I know like his biggest advantage is going to be if I keep trying to fight close to the edge. Because if he gets a good nade pop up, he'll just LG me to death. So now I'm like, okay, the best move for me is to start backing out. And if he goes up the pad and he happens to hit everything, then, you know, props to him. But I'm at least going to try to make the fight as difficult for him as possible. And there he didn't even fire a grenade. But it's a good thing that I dropped back because, as you saw, he had super shotgun. So he was anticipating me to keep peeking the edge with rockets, and super shotgun would have been the perfect weapon choice for that. But that's why I backed off and tried to fight from mid-range with LG, and it worked out perfectly. That's really important to make sure I'm collecting that LG ammo so that I can at least like fight a little bit. So now I'm like, all right, I don't need to fight anymore. I didn't get as much as I want. Let me just obtain position by the armor.
W champ RPH Sking.
Okay, and then here I rushed him because I thought he would keep running for the rail, like get desperate that he's down 6 and he's had a couple bad moves in a row. But he decided to hold firm at the right time, so that makes this fight a little more difficult than anticipated. If I did not have the Dire Orb, I would not be taking this fight. I would have just rotated my way towards the portal and went up to heavy safely.
Don't have to worry about too much. We haven't hit the
And even though I don't hit the orb, it forced his dodging to be more predictable to the right side, which makes that rocket so much easier to hit. It's like if he dodges left, I hit him with the orb and all the damage. If not, it makes the follow-up rocket that much easier.
Garpy could do to survive that, apart from just hit a bit more damage, I guess. But Rafa.
So I'm just looking to survive again.
3.
Garpy listening to the jump pad, able to turn
Trying to catch him just, you know, the reason I went up to the armor is I was trying to catch him like going to the mega early and I obtained position. But he was doing a good job of clearing the area first and trying to get the heavy machine gun anyway for the potential fight. And so here he's caught me with some good chip damage, and I know that like, all right, I'm probably going to die. So what I want to do is like make it very difficult for him to catch me, and then he has to make a difficult choice afterwards for what item he goes to.
Still not able to get the damage. The shotgun still can't
So then he has to be predictable to chase me down, and I hit the shot. So even though he gets the light armor and the mega, we're about equal. And so now I'm just going to focus on getting the heavy, and I still have control, even though
Able to stave off
uh,
any immediate
I lost the
threat
frag, and all the
back
pressure's
to
on him
the
still.
Abzu, but that jump, that final little step at the end.
And so here I could keep
So
taking
far
this.
giving
Like, I
Rafa
can keep
the
peeking, I
first
can keep holding position because I'm
shots
defending the
straight to
armor.
face.
I take any damage, then I can take the
Sarge's
armor
that
from him.
has already disappeared entirely.
And as long as he's not taking it, he's not doing anything. And so I double back and catch him trying to take the opposite route because I knew that when I died, when the mega time was going to be up. So I faked going to the mega to try to bait him to come to the armor, and it worked out to perfection there. And I managed to go 2 for 2 while he hit nothing.
Moment too long. Look at this, Rafa.
So then I catch him off the spawn. Don't do much damage, but that's okay. I still want to maintain rotation of the armor more so than the mega, because the heavy is much more defendable on this map than the mega is. The mega, you're like really exposed to escape.
It's a good thing Rafa's always able to keep plenty of these little pickups on the map.
I'll get to all the subs and whatnot after this map.
Especially with where he's positioning himself.
So right now it's over halfway through the game. I got about 4 minutes left. I'm up 9-2. This is potential comeback, score line for him, but with the control the way that I have it, I need to keep applying some pressure. If I get any more kills right now, it's pretty much a GG. As long as I get a clean one, I should be able to run the rest of the clock out, just play a solid game, just keep stalling him and make like the next frag that he gets take like 2 minutes. And that'll end up getting me the win. Like, I've done my job in the first half of the game to make it so that, okay, I've won the game. How do I protect it now?
Push in. He's not safe.
No, just using the orb for misdirection. And they're just trying to catch him at the health because I denied him the 225s. If I didn't hit the first rocket or whatever, I probably would have started backing off instead of going all the way in.
I've got heavy, I've got mega, and again, significantly behind.
I'm like, all right, I'll get super shotgun while I can. It just worked out this game that I've been able to play at different positions and not need it. But super shotgun can be good against Keel. It's the same thing. Heavy's going to come up before. I'm going to try to punish him for this and then fall back. And just keep the game slow. So I take all of this armor. Oh, he hits 2! Not 1, but 2 mid-airs. That was just a sick kill. There's nothing I can do about that. I didn't do anything wrong. He just pulled off a miracle. But even though he pulled off a miracle, look at his stack. He's still living on breadcrumbs. He's in the slums of the map.
Yeah, that rail from Rafa, I think it was a breath of fresh air from Garpy, a stroke of good fortune, but what can you get from this? The scary thing about
this is why timing's important. I knew I could keep fighting for that. Even after the rail, I was like, yeah, there's still like 4 seconds here. I'm Ranger versus Keel. I can still LG him. Because he's going to expose himself to pick it up.
100 damage, just like that, Flea. Rafa, straight back in it and then some. I would be shocked if Garpy can somehow just machine gun and come back here.
So here, either I get another kill and I go up 10, or I die and he's way too weak, so... And here I used the orb because I knew that if I tried to take my time, that he could just rush with LG. And right now it's more important to just steal the heavy. If I die, it's whatever, as long as I take it from him. Or I can get it and get out. Whereas if I try to be too stingy with my orb, it's going to come back to bite me in the ass. So, because I'd be too weak anyway to use it for damage. So here I boost through the portal because it's unpredictable, because I figured he's going to be looking at the health at the bottom anyway. And I'm like, let me just utilize Ranger's passive, man. Let me take less damage RJing around to recoup, get position. Bada bing, bada boom. Catch him again.
Not that many players who consistently make use of him. Wenger does as well, Rafa on the NA side.
Okay, so I know his position. So I stopped for a sec to listen to where he is, and since he wasn't rushing me at lower, I went up to take the armor. RJ'd up high so that it's much more difficult to get a rail off there. Like I could have, if I tried to RJ like too cleanly, like too perfectly, I could have given an angle for him to rail me and then I don't make it up whatsoever. Whereas if I give myself the vertical trajectory from where he is, I'll make it no matter what. So.
I just love the way he runs the items the way he does, but the big thing is just how much denial he has. It just feels like borderline rude, doesn't it? Where it feels like Rafa cycles this entire map, taking all the items to his name. I mean, speaking of which, I'm looking at the stats here. 2 heavies for Garpy, 14 for Rafa, 5 megas and 9.
And I somehow fucked up that orb.
And Rafa, on top of having
I thought I landed right on the mega and would get it, and I
this is
completely
such a
missed
Rafa game
missed the item.
with the stats alone that he gives you basically nothing to work with.
And also just the damage. Rafa doing considerably more damage over.
But thankfully, I'm in the lead the way that I am. If that was like,
his favor over his opponents.
if that was a really close game, that's such a huge mistake to make. But it's not so bad right now because there's not enough time for him to ever make up the score.
Unable to really persevere and make it happen.
I just catch him by doubling back while he goes for health.
With less than a minute on the
That's all
clock,
she wrote.
Ketchup, this is over and done with. Rafa stands tall, secures a convincing victory on Deep Embrace. Another map that he is absolutely superb at, and that means that it will come down to Corrupted Keep. Can Garpy prevent his opponent from just steamrolling him, moving on with a clean Tigo victory?
So now it's garbage time, and so, you know, I'm just trying to make sure that he doesn't get too much momentum and a good feel going into the next game. And I'm trying to stay warm myself. And I'm just thinking about the next game now, since this one's in hand. And just kind of like reminding myself, okay, these are the goals that I have for this game. This is what I need to do. This is what I need to force in the matchup.
I don't often see anyone able to
Just trying to close out the series 2-0.
He's locked in that control. And you can just look at how this first map went down and how Rafa, the vast majority of these items belong to him. And as long as he's holding all these items on you and he's getting damage off spawn,
The order, Super Monkey Apples, the order was Kilson, Cooler, myself, then Kilson, and then now myself 3 times. So I've won 4.
Every time you see a kill, you're like, oh, yep, good pick.
Because I won the last LAN we played, and Kilson won the first online playoff that we started playing last year. He played Cypher in the final.
Then at one point it clicks, and like you said, Rafa.
Yeah,
loves
hey, it's
that
no problem.
control, and it
Worry about
feels like he just plays it to perfection. It almost.
All right, let's
sometimes seems
skip
like he
ahead.
deliberately takes a
Love you,
certain
Ketchup
amount
and
of
Flea, but
damage
we
to
trying to get
avoid
into the next
the major
game.
items, but also
All right.
that
Yeah, sorry. It's just a little.
Straight. I don't think this is.
All right. Let me get to the alerts here real quick before we get into this next game. All these subs. We got Romolo TV. Thank you for the Prime Gaming sub. If that's something close to like Rolo candies, that shit's good. I haven't had those in a long time. Dofos, thank you for the 8-month resub. Gutter Magic, what's poppin', man? Yari Qwerty, thanks for the 2-month Prime Gaming resub. I love you too, random citizen. Total Insanity, thank you for the Prime Gaming sub as well. Appreciate it. All right, let's get into map 2. So obviously CK is one of my best maps, and funnily enough, Vale has been probably my best map alongside CK for a long time, but I had a horrible time on Vale this tournament. It was just one of those tournaments where your best map ends up being your worst, and it was just weird. Like every time I played Vale this tournament, it was like the first 3 to 5 minutes I couldn't hit shit. I was like setting up good situations, easy fights, and I just couldn't fucking hit anything. So I'm like letting people get away with murder over and over. And so then I die because I don't do any damage for some reason, and they get clean kills. And so then they start to build a lead. And by the time like the game starts feeling better and I can start hitting more, it's like such a lead, and I've missed so much. It was just so difficult to try to come back. It was just, I don't know. I haven't really experienced anything like it before, but it's just the way it was. It's just got to laugh at it because it's like, it's not like I don't know how to play the map. It's one of my best, but it just was funny how repeatedly I just played like shit. Just couldn't hit anything for the first like half the game. But thankfully, CK, mwah, chef's kiss. So this is on the EU server, and So almost all my matches were on EU West, where I ping like 105 to 115, which is really playable. But unfortunately, at certain times of the day, the routing goes to shit there, and so it like starts spiking all over the place. So we actually had to play this one on EU Central, where I'm pinging like at the time, I was pinging like 130, but it was a stable 130. It wasn't like jumping around and like warping. So I was like, I'd rather play with it being stable like that and just take worse ping for this matchup because of whatever's going on. And Garpy was a gentleman enough to agree to that because he pings pretty decently to EU Central anyway. So, and then when he's playing on EU, on NA, I think he pings like 88. He pings so well from the UK to the East Coast server. So games against Garpy feel pretty normal when we play cross-continental because the ping gap isn't very big. But so for this spawn, most of the time, what happens is people when I spawn at Nail, the person will always spawn at the rocket launcher. That's just the spawn pairing. So if you spawn at the same spot that he spawned, you always know they're gonna spawn at Nail. So what a lot of people do is they take the rocket and then they rush towards the mega because you, as the person with the rocket launcher, can get there first, but you can't get onto the mega. But you can get there to try to deal damage. So I figured that he was gonna try to do that in all in. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna give him the LG and let him have mega. And I'm just gonna go get really stagger, and then I'll try to bully the shit out of him with super shotgun. Like I'll try to rush to rockets right after, get guns, and then just like try to fight for control right away. He decides to do some wonky ass shit. We have a really, really odd fight right away. And I'll show you, like, even though he got the kill, it wasn't necessarily the best thing for him to do with how the cycle goes afterwards. So we meet here. We have a fight. He lays a totem down, which isn't bad. It's a good thing to do. But the thing is here, I get a good spawn because of where he's going to be, and I'm going to grab the light armor that he didn't go for, that was closest to him, and I'm going to get the mega as well. But I'm cutting off his position first so that if he decides to show up, I'm going to be dealing damage and falling back on items, and he's not because he just picked a heavy up. I know there's nothing on that side of the map besides regular health. That's it. That's all he can do. So I catch him, and he's like not even expecting me to be here. And so I'm just destroying him. If he was just ready for me to do that, like, it wouldn't have been so bad. But now I force him over there, and he can't even make it to the armor, so I don't need to go there first. What's the item that he could get and contest potentially earlier than that? The mega. So there's no reason risking to go get the armor and then the mega first. Just get the mega. Get the mega, get super stacked, play for the heavy. So I see him out of the corner of my eye, so I'm just going to start trying to like be ready as I grab this. And even though he deals that rocket damage, it's okay. Because now I'm going to obtain position, and I have dual wield. And I know he likely doesn't have totem up yet. So if he wants to fight me, it's going to be really, really tough for him to win.
Rafa was in a really good spot to just...
Okay, and then hearing that right there, hearing the jump pad lets me know, because I'm looking for him to try to get this light armor, or like try to overextend to heavy and kill him. And since I heard him go over to the other one by rocket, now he's in deep shit. Because I've got all the guns, I'm about to take this light armor, then the heavy armor, and it is not going to be a great time for him.
Is going to prevent him from doing so. Now Garpy's still next to
and I've got plenty of time to make it to the mega after this. So I'm picking a route he doesn't expect me to. I pop dual wield just in case he's there, because then I'll just win it anyway. And since he's not here, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to clear the high ground and see what's happening. Oh, so I go through. The totem doesn't mean shit right now because I'm so stacked. And he hasn't been able to grab anything. So I'm like, all right, let me see if I can bully him out of the room and keep this full death cycle going. And it works out even better. I get a kill because he decides to contest me. And the problem with machine gunning there while I'm pushing is because I'm pushing at full speed. So even if he's hitting me with machine gun there, he's not going to be able to slow me down enough and keep me out of LG range. If I was just like slowly jumping towards him, his fight is a good fight. But since I went full speed through the portal and I'm going through the window to him, he just needed to get out. He just needed to leave if he wanted to survive. So I get the free kill. I back off onto the mega, collect more LG ammo. And now I get more damage in on him.
1-1.
Collect this armor. Now I'm going over here, and I'm trying to see where he's going. Is he going for the rocket? This position right here is giving me options to find him before the next major item, because I know that the nail armor comes up 3 seconds before the heavy armor. So I want to see how he's going to play it, and I end up catching him here through the portal. He didn't hear me coming, and I should get a clean kill. He's dead. So now I make it seem like I'm going to go for the heavy, because when you're dead, you can see a lit for like 2 seconds off your respawn, like typically what the person is doing that's surviving and where they're going. So I make it seem like I'm going to go to heavy, and now I go for everything. I'm like, this shit is mine. I have earned this. You don't get anything. Just trying to make his life as miserable as possible. So there I take out the totem. I want to start like, you know, patrolling the area. And as far as I can tell, he hasn't gotten LG yet, which is why I've gone through before the Mega has been picked up. Because then if he does decide to go down to the Mega, he'll be predictable to hit. And so even if he gets it, I'm so stacked that I can deal a bunch of damage, and it's hard for him to hit rockets from his position. So now I'm just trying to zone him out anyway. Even though I took a lot of damage, doesn't really matter. I've dealt damage, I have dual wield. I'm trying to just maintain this death cycle. And boom, just hit 2 easy rockets as he picks it up. Okay, move over to the Mega. Let me get this armor, because guess what? I picked it up right before. And then I'm like, oh, he's gifting me another one. He's coming for these vials. He doesn't think I'm going to take this armor and then go to heavy again. That, or he didn't know, and he thought that the armor was going to be up after the heavy and was giving up position. But in any case, I'm like, okay, I might be able to kill him before heavy. I really need to push here. And his only chance at trying to win there would have been to like try to fake that and like push back into me with super shotgun. But the route that I was taking, I went wide so that if he did that, I would start backing up. And so as I'm backing up, LG is more effective than shotgun at that range. So I'm ready to push him or to back off. Unfortunately for me, I don't get to kill before the heavy. So it's a victory for him. It's a small victory. Right now I still have the weapon advantage. So now I need to just gain position and make it difficult for him to get the next Mega. So I know he's likely going to spawn machine gun. So I either need to fight him at the armor, or I need to catch him with some damage on his way to LG. Okay, so now I start backing off because he laid the totem and he's blocking damage. And I'm like, I don't want to deal with that anymore. I'm almost out of LG anyway. I need to try to get this. And I did not. But at least I did a bunch of damage. And sometimes when you kill them at LG, it's like most of the time they'll spawn at shotgun or they're spawned by nail when you're at his position. But every now and then there's this weird time where it's like, oh, you're just going to randomly spawn at the rocket. And that's what happens here. So I'm like, okay, I did a lot of damage. And if he hasn't gotten the Mega yet, then he's going to go for this light. So if he goes up, I'll kill him. If not, then he'll just go get Mega. And he doesn't know the exact timing. I could just dive on him because he's not going to be, you know, thinking that I'm going to rush him right away, and I could obtain position because he doesn't have LG yet. Okay, so I do my job, and then I'm like, okay, and he RJ to the health. He's not going to be healthy at all. So I'm trying to continue the death cycle again and go for the light and then go for the heavy. And he decides he is holding good position, but he's holding position where he's hoping that he doesn't take any rocket splash, which this area can be tricky for that even though you have high ground. But I get bounced perfectly to where I can't deal it, and he ends up going 3 for 3 with free damage. So this is a gamble in hindsight that I was trying to just keep the full control going, but in all honesty, I should have just left it. I should have left it and went the other way. Should have went the low route towards where quad is in deathmatch, and then just start working my way to heavy and make it difficult for him to try to obtain that. Because now he gets the armor, he gets the totem set up, and he gets heavy. And so, it's still not bad. Like, I have the lead, I'm getting LG, I took the other light, but it'd be much better if I had the heavy and the 2 frag lead still than that. So
his opponent, snaps him around, and now makes it a 1 frag game. The British Bulldog still in it. So
now I'm just trying to zone him out. because I know he's like trying to push position, but I know that he doesn't have LG still. So I'm trying to like get some entry damage and then create a mid-range fight if I can. So I just destroyed him. Like he's trying to push in with rockets, and I bounced the shit out of him twice and dealt so much damage.
A major push from Garpy, but
So I just switched LG, finished the kill.
damage, even down to the super
So
kill.
just like I was a little overzealous moving into the bottom, he was overzealous pushing into that position. Like he should have known that he was outgunned and he needed to like, with his stack, like slowly work his way in, not try to like overwhelm me. Didn't work out for him.
Shotgun, which I didn't even think he got.
And so I forced a spawn. He's either going to spawn there or at shotgun, and so I dual wield right away since I'm not super stacked.
Damage from that one.
And I hit everything, and I collect another kill. So one little mistake by him by pushing in over aggressively has cost the full control that he had and 2 extra kills. And see what I've done here this time? I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna take a gift. I'm not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth, as the terminology goes. I got 2 free kills now, and the mega. I'm just gonna collect the light, make sure that he doesn't get that in the heavy, and then I'm gonna back off and play for the other light. I'm gonna play to be 175, 100, rather than trying to get the full cycle again. And then I'll just try to play it a little bit slower and try to get my kills a little slower for now and keep him away from LG as long as I possibly can. And just know and have a guesstimate in my head on when heavy comes up, so that if I do a good enough job of damaging him within the next cycle, then I can take everything. So right now this is Deja Vu. Where's he at? He's at Rocket. I know that he's got Rocket, Machine Gun, and Shotgun. That's probably about it.
Mega's about to spawn, and Rafa is the one with the better position.
So guess what? I just secured Mega for myself. And what am I trying to do? Slowly either find a fight and kill him because I'm 100 health healthier than he is, or just bully him, and what I'll do is I'll be like, okay, if you want to take the LG, then you're going to have to give up the heavy armor. You're going to have to make that sacrifice.
Still lacking the lightning gun. Rafa is aware of this too, but he is going to give up that item, or that weapon rather.
Yep, so I'm like, okay, he decided to take the LG, so now it's a free heavy for me. I'll take the full stack, no problem.
issue in giving Garpy a little something to work with, because he still has.
So now the problem is, even though he hit that rocket, he could still be in deep shit if he tries to fight, because what do I have? I've got my ability. What does he have? Jack shit. So he can't block any damage, he can't heal himself. He may think we're on equal terms, but if we start 50-50 in the fight or I get the jump, it's a win for me. So he should not be looking for a full-on engagement here. He should be looking for another free rocket or a quick burst of LG and then backing out, and then try to take a full fight. That's what he should be thinking.
I've always been a big fan of Garpy's rockets.
Oh, but I hit a perfect rocket where like I thought he might be creeping up there, and I placed it to where either I'm going to direct him or it might knock him into the ground, and it perfectly displaced him. And so then I just followed up with free damage, and guess what? It's 7-3. I'm like, all right, I'll just take this light armor now. He's, for some reason, rushing and somehow getting this mega. But as soon as he was there, I was like, there's no reason not to pop dual wield. If I lose the fight, whatever, I'm going to deal a shit ton of damage. If I win the fight, then I go up 5.
But Rafa, so prepared for that exchange. Now we swap out dual wield for dual wield. Rafa not able.
And here's a mistake. If you're playing against Galena, okay, well, I guess I need to hit play and then back up. Okay, so we'll watch this again. Now as we escape here, right, I'm escaping. If you're playing against Galena and you're going over here and you know that they're likely splitting somewhere else, you should always be checking the vials, because Galenas love to put totems there. Because based off of like how the game goes, sometimes you don't go to that area for a little bit, or like they try to defend it. As I'm passing this, I should have just checked it on my way to go get health, but I didn't, and it comes back to bite me in the ass later. This is a big mistake. All I had to do is just check to my left, and I can clear it real quick on my way up to get health. So here, I'm going to look to see what I can do. I just know, like, the worst thing that can happen to me is a direct rocket. That's it. So I'm just going to be trying to avoid that. Otherwise, I can possibly win the fight. Okay, so he hits a good rocket, but I know the exact timing of this. And since he was where he was on the other ledge and not this one right now, where he's jumping to now, I had time to make it to the heavy. If he was right here, I wouldn't have gone for it. I would have gave up position or like tried to catch him falling rather than all-inning for the item.
Was in position towards heavy, but Rafa, I like the confidence just pushing forward.
So I take the totem out now, it's no big deal.
Garpy is gonna just sit and charge
And I just catch him going for health, and unfortunately take way too much damage. I should have had him dead before the last rocket, but I had some poor finishing machine gun there. The first burst was good, but needed to finish the kill a bit faster to maintain like more control. So now I'm like, I'm in survival mode now, trying to protect the lead. Let me get this. I have to give up Mega. So what I need to do is like just, you know, try to like either cut him off with damage. So I was thinking he might go through the window to the rocket. So I'm like trying to get position there first, but instead he's actually doing the smart move and rushing to the center of the map with LG. He catches me. I do a lot of damage, but I'm not... Chances are I'm not going to make it out of this fight. Somehow. He misses a few and then he switches. He switches guns. He should just keep spamming with a machine gun. If he kept spamming with a machine gun, he would have killed me. And so then I move in. I'm like, okay, now that this has happened, I need to react quickly to this. It's not good for me to go for the light armor right now because I have the lead. If the light armor is still up at the machine gun, it's better for me to try a 50-50 here and hopefully get a kill and steal the heavy armor and then try to recoup and keep all my guns than it is to allow him to get the clean heavy and for me to go get the light armor and still be weak. If I die here and it's 8-4, then he's going to be weak still, but I should be able to be 125, 100 off the spawn. So even if I die, I'm still going to be really hard to kill afterwards, which is why I'm going for this. And I unfortunately whiff the death blow there. I get an awkward spawn. Instead of spawning at machine gun, I spawn in the middle. So that kind of changes how I have to play this. So here I'm just trying to like push him out with good spam. And he does a good job of coming in at the right time, gets the shotgun kill and gets everything. Really, really well played by him. And it was just unfortunate that the rocket knocked me to the ground. But it's like it was in the fight before, you know, like what, a minute 30 before, where it knocked him to the bottom in the mid. Every now and then that shit's gonna happen. But you just gotta play for the percentages. So now I'm like, okay, I'm in deep shit, but I have the lead. So what I need to do is just try to avoid him for a little bit or catch him overextending and deal a shit ton of damage. Those are my mental objectives right now. Keep track of the cycle, the item timing, look for an opportunity. Or if I need to, become a ghost.
He takes heavy though. It's going to be a bit of a tricky situation. I like the use of the time, actually.
He catches me out. Like I didn't hear him until it was too late. But that rocket knocked him down and allows me to survive for now.
Until the map ends, someone even goes down that hallway on Corrupted Keep, that it might for the...
Thank you, BJ Passive, because now I don't need to overextend myself for health. I can obtain good position with 50-50 and start trying to cut him off here. Because this is the most predictable route. He's going to get this light, and he's likely going to go to the vials at banana. So I'm going to hold position at bridge and try to catch him with good spam and delay him. If he RJ's up, which he does, I have dual wield, so I'm going to pop it. And it should be a good fight for me. And this is, to be honest, even though he has just a little bit more stack, this is a good fight for me. Like, he has to have something amazing happen for him for this to go right. And he does, because the rocket somehow knocks me all the way over to banana instead of just knocking me backwards into the heavy. And so then he gets the kill, gets the totem, and then gets the heavy. So I've had 2 unlucky bounces with rockets so far, and it's cost me. But I've still played it all right to where he doesn't have the huge overstack going, so he can't just keep pushing fearlessly. So it buys me space. It buys me more time because I'm playing with the lead and the clock as well. So I want to play for the light while that's coming up because they come up at the same time. And I just want to, again, try to stall him. There, I catch him with some good spam, and then as this fight, I just wanted to do some damage and back off, but I got such a good start with the burst damage. I was like, you know what? I'm going to see this through to the end and see what happens. And I had the bubble. that I could potentially cut him off to because I was closer to it. So that's how that position becomes better. So let's rewatch that fight.
So Garp
So here I'm about what, 110 health, 100 armor. He's 175, 100. Okay. So if he plays it correctly, he currently has the better position. As long as he takes a machine gun fight where these two like barriers are, it makes him very hard to hit because it only shows like his head, but he can still shoot my whole body back here. So as long as he's here and I'm over there, he has good position. If at any point he decides to move and I peek at the right time, I have good position and he becomes more vulnerable to hit. Now, if at some point during the fight, I gain position first towards the health, technically that makes me not 110, but 135, 100, which then makes us a lot closer. So if I get good damage, good predictable, easy damage, where he's like having to difficultly track me while he's airborne, it can turn the fight around. It can go from a quick instance of he had great position to we're now contesting for position. And that's what happens. So I noticed that. I'm like, okay, he's going to take the machine gun fight and he's just going to win this shit. So I can't just straight up fight him like that. I have to like play this peak war and kind of guess when he's trying to leave. And the longer that I keep him here, though, and don't take a lot of damage, which is my initial thought, is the more likely I can secure the heavy then. So I look to peek again. He does a lot of damage. So I'm like, all right, I'll just try to see if I can catch him with a rocket, like going for the vials.
careful not to let
Boom. I hit one. And I noticed that he was like jumping. I'm going to try to catch him with some predictable damage again and then back off. But it was a chunky rocket, man. I dealt like what? Close to 70 damage. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I was down about 70 in the first place. So now we're about even. And as you can see, I'm closer to the health. So that's why I decide to all in. He's at a predictable spot where LG is going to be easy to hit. And that's how you got to find little instances like that when you're out of control to turn shit around. It has to be like the reaction to these things in Quake has to be fucking instantaneous. Any sort of hesitation there and misunderstanding of that goes horribly wrong. But that's the nature of the game. Being out of control really pushes you to the edge of performing at your best to get it back.
picks up the bubble at the very last second, saving him.
And so now I hear the rockets going, so I know he spawned at rocket and not machine gun. And so that I'm like, okay, I'm going to respect the spawn. I'm going to respect it, and I'm going to give up the heavy. And I'm just going to go try to, recoup my LG ammo, maintain distance on fights, find good ones for me. I have dual wield again, and see what can happen. And if worst comes to worst, guess what's up at the same time as Mega again? The light armor. So I'll try to position to make him choose one or the other, and I'll take the opposite. But I committed the cardinal sin against Galena again. What entrance am I near? I'm near the damn banana entrance, and I didn't even look. I cleared a totem earlier, but it's most likely that he's put one there again, and I didn't clear it. I didn't even fucking look. I'm so disappointed in myself watching this. This is some easy ABC stuff to do, and I just didn't do it. So even though I try to play as a mistake-free game as possible, even I, every now and then, make a dumbass mistake like this. And so now this, you need to take context clues when you don't have the exact timing on items. Since he was peeking over the edge, and he had been spamming rockets, that lets me know that he did not take the heavy as soon as it came up. So now as he's falling, one of two things is going to happen. He's going to take it as he falls, so it's either at 05 now, so it'll come up at 635, or he'll drop, go through the portal, and then he'll take it again. So if he goes through the portal and then doesn't fight me, and then tries to, he fights me a little bit, and then I don't see him for a bit, then I know, okay, it's not going to be 05. It's likely going to be instead of 635, it'll be like 640, 642. Something like that, because then he'll have noticed that I noticed him, and so then he's going to try to delay it. But since I don't even see him here, I'm like, okay, he probably took it right away, and he's gone to nail at this point. That's what he did. So I'm like, okay, he managed to sneak through without me hearing. He's got himself an LG. Now I just need to try to just survive, take the light armor, let him have Mega again.
Now there's a comeback left to go. Lovely dual wield, but he understands.
Like, alright, I'll do a
Garby
little
still
damage.
stacks him quite
Just looking to
significantly.
deal it.
All things
Not looking
considered,
to all
that
in.
did not accomplish as much as Rafa
Ah!
wanted.
So there he dealt a lot more LG damage than I expected. So now I'm like in panic mode. I'm like, shit. Like I've dealt a lot of damage though, so he's likely going to push here and we're going to have a 50-50 fight.
Because Garpy picks up the Mega, and now
And here's where I'm like, well, this is bad news because even after the Mega, I've dealt a lot of damage and Galena didn't scream. So I'm like, okay, he's got enough totems up somewhere. Now I could be in deep shit because even though he just grabbed the Mega and I dealt damage, he's likely going to get the overstack again, which makes it very important
full speed
to
ahead.
keep track of that
Not
when
as
you're in
much
this
damage as
matchup.
you could possibly do given the circumstances, but Garpy
And he's
still
just a
lands
couple
it.
seconds away from getting it. But I got a good spawn at Rocket, and since I did a bunch of damage, I maintained and rushed to get position on the bridge to see if I could get control back. Because even though I just have rockets and machine gun right now, getting to the bridge at the timing that I do makes me the stronger player at the moment.
By opportunities to bring himself
So
back.
he's like, shit, I need to try to get this triple totem up right now. And he's hoping in his mind that the health is up and then it reduces the cooldown. He lays it down real fast. He gets the overstack. But thankfully, I noticed the totems and I start taking them out. So now, instead of him getting the overstack, he's just at 100 health. And things aren't looking good for him.
Rafa just deleted pretty much every single totem of the map, except for the one that Garpy placed last.
So now I got full control again. He's weak as shit.
Help him anytime soon. Garpy
I want to try to get another kill. I want to extend the lead again if I can. And I just LG the shit out of him. And he shakes his head here. And you can't really see it, but it'll switch to my cam. And I literally mouthed, I'm sorry. Because I could tell. Yeah, I'm like, eh. I was like, the LG definitely hit around the corner that time. So even though that shit happens to me, I notice when it happens to other people. And it's just, it's going to happen. And I felt bad, but I'm like, you know what? I got to do what I got to do. So the high ping helped me there, but we'll see in a bit where it bites me in the ass. And it cost me big time. And almost cost me the map.
3 frags of elite.
So now I have dual wield so I can just move here freely. Like that, and that's why I had shotgun out instead of rockets, because if he decided to have a trap, I'm just going to pop it and fight close range. Bop, 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 and just kill him. He has no right to fight me up close right now. So
Very close game, all things considered.
just trying to bully him. Like, this is my armor, get out of here. Guess we have to watch this ad together. Let me mute this shit. All right, bring that back. I'm like, just I should be able to. Like a miracle has to happen for him to turn this around. I should be able to get everything still. So now I saw that he went past, and so he has to come back. So I'm aiming not at the entrance. I'm aiming a little ahead of the entrance because of his position, he's likely going to jump into the room instead of just walking in. Boom, and that hits him for a big rocket instead. Even though he grabs the Mega, I'm maintaining position where I get to choose the damage I'm doing. I know he didn't have LG, so I just got a couple ticks off. I stayed out of dangerous rocket range, trying to deal some chip damage again. I see him. I know he's not that healthy, even though he picked up the Mega. And I'm like, well, I don't want to give him a heavy for free. I have the right and the weapons to push in here to see what happens. Because I know the exact timing. So I do a lot, he's screaming, and I kill him right before the heavy. And I'm going to get the bubble, and then, because I've played Galenas so many times in this map, I'm like, you know what, let me not just run into the health here, because they like to stack it on top of the health. Okay, I'll save myself a little bit there. Yep, just trying to take center control, zone him out. And even though that kill could have been cleaner, I'm still sitting pretty right here. I'm up 5 now, about to have 2 minutes left. I'm going to get the Mega. I've got decent weaponry. I'm going to go get this light armor. I'm doing okay. here he literally goes for the all-in that he has to, and I just should have fucking just played slower, just protected the lead rather than trying to keep the control going here. Because even though I should still win this fight, if one rocket goes bad, you'll see what happens.
Timing or positioning himself a moment too soon.
I'm just stuck and I can't move. And I literally can't deal any damage back. The entire time, he gets me popped up and I'm just getting juggled. I'm in some fucking fighting game. I don't have enough special ability to hit break. I can't get out of it, and I'm just at the mercy of my opponent. And of course, he wants to win, so there's no mercy from him. I just get destroyed. So instead of potentially contesting and keeping control, now I've given up a clean kill right at the worst time.
Frags, but hang on, Garpy. Those are some excellent rockets. He's still.
And there, why did I stream through lower? Oh yeah, I streamed through lower because I thought that what he was going to do is try to abuse the spawn and make me spawn at MG, and then he was going to go try to catch me there. So I was trying to be ahead of him as if like he's going there and I knew the heavy timing and try to make it there before him. But he just turned at the right time to catch me going on my route. And even though I'm dealing a lot of damage because he's moving predictably, he still gets a decent kill. And he's still pretty stacked on armor. He's still... He's going to move in here and likely get the Mega. And this is where the lag fucks me. Because I didn't hear any jumping at all. He shows up. I'm like, okay, I'm dual wielding. I should still be able to do something. And on my screen, I fired at him, but then I probably because the on his side he registered damage first, and not on my screen, so it warped me back, and then I blew myself up. So I hit the ledge instead of hitting him, and so that made me die because I could have survived a direct rocket there. And so that's another clean kill, and I'm like, holy shit, here we go. This is how it happens. This is how shit falls apart. And I'm like, okay, well, no longer can I contest for anything right now. I need to do... My job is to do what Venger does best on this map, is becoming a ghost. Just playing by sounds and run, run, run. Try to just force him to, if he has to kill me, I deal a shit ton of damage. And he kills me in a bad spot where he can't really abuse the spawn and try to spawn kill me, since I have a 2-frag lead.
Only 2 frags left to go.
So I go over to Nail because I know that he's with where the fight took place. He was going to likely try to catch me out at Rocket. So I go, I get myself a nail gun, which I can defend myself with if I need to run. And now I have some armor.
To make this comeback and bring us into one map apiece.
Yep, and so now I know that he's probably above me. I'm just trying to play off sounds. I make a right read. I didn't hear him dropping. I made the correct read to go where I was, where I was going. And so now I heard him drop. So now I'm waiting to listen for him again. Because I know Heavy's coming up. It's likely where he's going. Okay, I know he went that way, so now I'm going to make my way over to this side. I'm going to try to get myself a heavy machine gun. And then I'm going to have to make a good guess again. This is going to be open door A, you live, open door B, and you die. But if I don't get a heavy machine gun to deal damage, etc., like, there's a very small window of opportunity for me to start getting weapons. But I knew it wasn't safe to go get LG because trying to get out of LG, he likely had a totem there, and he was going to be rushing from heavy to the center of the map, and he might catch me coming out of there, and I might give away a free kill. So it's not worth getting the lightning gun right now. So I get this, and I make it out before he can get to this position. I guessed that he would come through high rather than low from the heavy, and I made the right read. So, but I still know, based off of the estimates of before, like about when the major items are. So if I know that he's over chasing me, he's leaving an item up, I will try to go get it. So I know, like, okay, even though I'm leaving this area now, Mega will likely be up around 25, so it'll be between 25 and 0 when I was leaving. Now I'm taking position to force him to try to fight at a really bad spot, a bad choke, where he's going to take a lot of damage if he even manages to make it past the first wave of spam. Now again, I'm just using sound, trying to go the opposite way. I finally secure myself a rocket launcher. And I know here that Heavy is up. But he has to chase me for a kill, so I'm trying to listen out. I'm trying to guess correctly where he's going. And if he all-ins me, now that I have rockets, I will dual wield. Okay, so I'm guessing correctly, and I'm perfectly timing. That's just
stage finals.
That's just being in his head, man. I just perfectly like timed the gaps in which he was like going to hesitate, because typically what happens is in these situations, what a lot of people do is they just rush in. So what a lot of people do on the defense in my position is they will fire the rockets right away because they're like anticipating the person to just keep chasing nonstop. But I figured that he wasn't going to do that. So I'm holding my shot and I'm anticipating him to delay his entrance.
Yeah, it's so annoying and obnoxious to chase someone down, especially when neither of these two champions.
So I figured, okay, he's not coming behind me. I'm going to spam one there. And so now I know he's there. I was like, he's not going to rush in right away. And so I delayed the shot, hit him perfectly, popped the dual wield in case he's going to push because he has to get the kills back. And I got really lucky. Like, I hit so much damage there, and he did like nothing. And so here I just need to keep my distance. Just chip. Play the rocket game again.
There's too much health. There's just too much stack either way. It's gonna take too long to get the frag.
And just being patient with your shot. There's so many times where people, they just fucking panic with rockets and they're just like holding down fire, which makes it really predictable, like where they're gonna shoot, the timing of it. They're just panicking, just trying to hit the shot as fast as possible, where if you just take a split second to think about their positioning, where they're gonna be, where they're likely gonna dodge. And sometimes if you're holding your shot, it makes it even harder because then they know as soon as they push, they're going to take that big chunk. There is no chance for them to dodge past anything. Like, that's why sometimes, like, when you play as Ranger, the best thing to do is to hold your orb. When you're holding it, it creates that fear in them. And it's the same thing. Like, sometimes you have to hold your shot based off the situation. And so people that are really struggling with rockets, like, it's probably one of two things. A, your sensitivity is too slow, so you're never getting ahead of people when you need to flick and hit them. Or B, you're just firing. You're just firing constantly. You're not taking your time and setting up your shots. So if you're really struggling with your rockets, try for the next couple of weeks to force yourself to focus on the shots. If you need to just make some far away spam across the map in deathmatch or TDM, that's fine.
Champ.
Shoot as fast as you want.
I almost phoned an ambulance. It was so exciting. At least my bird finally understood by saying, "That's why you were betting on him over and over." I replied, "Exactly." Once again, congratulations. However, the competition is getting tougher.
Oh, indeed. I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, when you're getting in actual fights, like, just take a split second longer. You're going to lose a few fights for the first couple days because you'll start to notice, okay, I should have fired a little earlier than that. I was holding my shot too long. But at least now you know. You're starting to get a feeling for when you should hold it, when you shouldn't. Start doing that. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see here real quick. Let's get to these alerts before we get in the next game. I missed it earlier. Yari Qwerty, thank you for the 2-month Prime Gaming resub. Thank you. Ricky WL, thank you for the Prime Gaming resub. Super Monkey Apples 3018, thank you for the sub. Ice Wild, thank you for the $5. Yep, thank you very much. Glad you were entertained. And then Mr. Nero 26, thank you for the however many pounds it was. It's $13.94 US. Yeah. There's so many good games this weekend. So many good games. It was a really exciting weekend to watch. Holy. Asmius gifting 10 tier 2. Not just one, but tier 2 resubs. Holy cannoli. Dude, thanks for gifting those subs to BHC, so Blackhawks Clan maybe? Seaboy, Marcel, Copperson, Wazerfall, Calamity, Prescription RX. It was like prescription twice. Prescription. What is it? Andrew, Photon Debugger, Disco Prophet, James Dean 720, and Billtree. Thanks for gifting those 10 subs. And Dart, thanks for gifting a sub to Mr. Zinniku. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Okay, let me before I get into the next one, we're gonna take like a 5 to 10 minute break. I'm gonna go take Sasha outside. I'm gonna go get myself a new water, and then we'll get into my series with Maxter. All right, everybody. So I'll see you in 5 to 10 minutes.
It's not just a game. It's opened my eyes to a whole new world. It's where I find myself and get lost.
On fire players that we've seen so far here in stage 2. You are not going to want to miss this one. Thanks for joining us here on day 2. We're going to be back with more Quake right after this. the touch of death as he goes through this stage 2 finals bracket. Will ZSX and his prediction come true?
In this house, I leave my limit.
All right. Not muted anymore. Gucci. Hello. Test. All right, good. Okay, so I will start over with all of that. So in most tournaments, I end up banning Molten because Molten typically, it just depends on the order it is and what you're playing, but typically is a super, super defensive map. It's very easy to play defensive on it rather than having to make really good decisions on the fly consistently in order to play that defensive. So typically I just get rid of it. And then I'll like favor Ruins over that. But for some reason, like it's like, I don't know, a combination with the recent patch and like my connection problems that I've been having, Ruins has been a literal coin flip for me. And it's been a coin flip in the sense of one person, whether it's myself or the other guy, will be railing 50+%, just so hard to miss. You're just destroying the guy. And then you hold tab and you look at the stats, and you're like, oh, he's railing under 20%. This guy usually rails 40 to 70% against me consistently, but he can't even hit 20% rail. What's going on? Then I'll have a game where I'm playing on Ruins and it's like pass through after fucking pass through. Like they're going up a jump pad, doesn't hit them. They're just running in a straight line. The rail goes through. But other guns work. But the map is so rail dependent. So against pretty much everybody in this tournament, I was like, I haven't really been having that problem on other maps until until Veil on this tournament, which I'll get into that later. But so I was like, you know what? I'll just take out the random factor. Because yes, it would be great if we go into Ruins and rail is working for me and it's not for the other player due to whatever is going on. But it could be the flip side where I literally can't hit anything no matter what I do. So I was like, let me just get rid of that. I'm fine to play literally any other map. I'll pick whatever I think is best against the player, and then we'll go from there. So due to the Delta rules, I won out on the servers, so it's NA, SA, NA, which means that Maxter gets to ban first, so he'll get the advantage of banning champions and being able to counterpick twice compared to me. So the only advantage that I got is in the last 3 maps, I get to choose what the decider is. And I really wanted to play Exile over Molten Falls. Not because Maxter is, let's say, super amazing at Molten Falls. I just think that on the new maps I'd been playing really well. I wanted to play it for the 3rd map potentially, as well as based off of the champions that could be left up at the end. I felt like if there's like just one mobile champion left, I'd rather it be on Exile to play against it than Molten, where like if he is going to get a pick and he gets like Strog or something and I can't keep up with it, it would be very, very difficult. So that's the reasoning behind that against him. And yeah, I wanted to. And even though Exile is kind of rail heavy, it's not as rail heavy as Molten. And Maxter's rail is so good. His rail is just so hot. The only time it's ever not is if he's having some connection issues. So it doesn't matter whether his ping is 140 or what is it, like 35 to SA or whatever. The guy just hits all the time. So that's what I can guarantee that I need to base my strategy or try
Much
to
love for teaching
against
and explaining
denying his rail.
WTF Quake is about.
Or make it so that even if he's hitting his rails, my control is so good that it doesn't matter. I'll get to the alert later. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. So let's go to full screen. So for Deep Embrace, he decided to ban Ranger. And I was like, okay, you want to leave me Doom? I'll take that shit. Sorlag is not a bad pick into Doom. I would rather, if somebody else was going to play Doom, I would rather play Sorlag into that than Keel. Because if you're behind as Sorlag compared as Keel, you have a bit of mobility to try to catch up and more easily catch out Doom than you would Keel. So I understand why he made the pick. Also, dude, the air control champs are his best champs. Like, he is so good with Anarchy and Sorlag, and you can only ban one of them. Like, you can't just take them. So he'll always potentially have the option of playing that. And what's been good about Maxter this stage is he's really improved his game on Strog. He really has. He's gotten very, very good at understanding when to use Peeker. He's gotten very good at understanding when to play just using the mobility in general to create more opportunities for himself, or to, more importantly, because he could play well aggressively, but to play more defensive with Strog and make the game more difficult. So, but I was pretty comfortable going into this matchup. I really like Doom. I can control the tempo of the game. And just like I was saying before against Garpy, when I was playing Ranger into Keel on this map, it's the same thing. You just have a few different fights and a few different routes that you're taking. But you're trying to control the pace of the game. You're not trying to get into this constant life trading with a tank who's going to respawn with more than you. You're trying to take good position, deal free damage, and leave them useless on the map for a while. And then you take positions where if they're pissed off at taking that damage, they feed you. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to make them lose their patience and give you free shit. And just play it slow. And then if they start, gambling, then you could pick up the pace. And if you're hitting really hard, then you can, find a way to do that. But for the most part, you just want to play a nice middle of the road tempoed game. More so, I would say, like, instead of 50-50, you're playing like 40-60, playing a little bit more defensive, slow. Just you're trying to take positions rather than fights, if that makes sense. Then Vale, I banned Scale because he's been getting very good at it, and playing against Scale with high ping, since this was going to be me pinging like 140 something on SA, I was like, I don't want to deal with that shit. So I got rid of it. He decided to lock in Keel, which was a decent pick. Eisen was available, but I don't like Eisen into Keel. I think Keel is a really good counter to that because he can like almost instantly delete the turret. But every now and then, if you have a good, if the game feels pretty good, you can play pretty decently with Galena from mid to long range against Keel because her hitbox is pretty small, and you can potentially out-sustain him with your totems. That obviously did not work. And I'll go into explaining why as, we get into the game. And then for the last one, I just kind of like, had been watching him in his previous matches, and I had debated picking Strog first. If he left Death Knight up, I was going to take it. So Death Knight, him banning that on this map was a very good choice because I felt it was going to play very well into his play style. So he got rid of it. So then my two options were one of these two champions. I was going to pick one or the other. I was going to pick Strog or I was going to pick BJ. And just watching the way that he had been playing BJ against others, and like sometimes with like the high ping damage that he could do, I was like, man, I don't want him to do that with two guns. I was like, so I play pretty well with BJ, and I think I'm going to need to control the tempo anyway. So I'll just pick it and take it from him, and I'll just deal with him playing Strog. And that's exactly what he did. He was either going to pick Strog or likely Anarchy, since Anarchy was still on the board. But Anarchy is a bit more tough to play into BJ than Strog is. Because Strog can potentially block BJ's damage with Peeker and can deal some extra burst with the mobility, whereas Anarchy is a little bit squishier. And like, yes, he has sustain, but sometimes it's just really hard to overcome the burst damage if you get caught out as Anarchy. And so that's why the picks are the way they are. And normally when I play him or Nosfa in SA, the server feels pretty good, but unfortunately in this match, it just... It's just one of the odd times where it was like, it was just a nightmare. Come on. And the thing was, this first game was probably the best the game felt all tournament for me. Like, I was able to play to perfection, pretty much do whatever I needed to do to win here. Like, so, oops. Hold on, let me do this again. Okay, so let's go back. So with this spawn, yes, you can go get armor first, but I would rather just get the Mega, get LG, and then read where he is and what he's doing. Because he spawns on the rail side, and he's already going to be, you know, his rail is so good. That's what I brought up beforehand. So now I hear him pick it up. So now I need to just deny like angles from him and avoid him and try to get it myself.
Mobility around the map, and I do expect him to try and just get up onto that high
Okay,
ground.
so he took the very safe route instead of trying to like... I think he could have held position where he was more and tried to rail me through the boards, trying to get rail, but he took a safe position trying to get high ground against me. I was like, okay, I'll take the opportunity to get rail, and now I will go collect the light armor. Because now it'll be at worth most, I'll be at 100.
Keep the rail angle.
I'll be really stacked. And I know he doesn't have LG, which is why I'm obtaining position here. I'm trying to either take some rail battles with him at the moment, see what happens with the hitbox differences, and just deny LG. I'm constantly scanning for where he could be. Rotating, trying to find position. And I make sure that I'm getting all the guns right now that I can, because Tribolt can be really helpful in this matchup, because since her hitbox is a bit bigger, I might get more chunkier like hits if he's like trying to hold firm on Mega or Heavy, and that'll come into play later. So now that I've taken the jump pad, it's all too quiet before the next Heavy. So I have a sneaking suspicion that he's likely around the area. He's either over here waiting for me to move, since he hasn't fired a rocket spam, which people normally do once they hear the jump pad down here. So he's either going to try to rear, or he's hiding up here somewhere. So I'm going to try to clear the area as safely as possible. So I'm checking. He's not peeking, and I was like, thankfully I wasn't too surprised. I take a lot of damage, but I was ready for it. So I gave myself an escape if things went wrong. He rails me, but it's going to be okay. He's taking position to get the Heavy because he knows, like, if I rush over there right now, I could get everything, and he doesn't know that I'm railable. So I drop down to get the health. I'm trying to force him to make a decision on which item to go to. Do you want to go get Heavy, or do you want to go get Mega? Because I didn't hear it picked up, and you can hear it from the bubbles over there. So that's why I didn't just go straight to Mega. I'm like thinking he's chasing me, and I'm trying to force him into a tough situation. Okay, so I deal some good damage. I RJ up here, and it's actually pretty difficult to hit Doom once he's on top of like this lamppost and this rock the way it is. So even though like I am technically railable, it's going to be a bit of a risk for him to push towards the Heavy. He misses one shot, and he's piped. So he missed. So now I start taking position. I know he's going to switch weapons, but just in case he doesn't, and he decides to rail me again, if I would have just walked to the item, like just regularly, he could have maybe shot in time. So I popped my Berserk so I could grab it and guarantee that if he had rail out, I'm going to be right there fighting him in his face. He can't go anywhere yet. And so here I just end up getting a free hit. I can't kill him, but it's okay. I heard him scream, so I know, okay, he's gonna rush to go get Mega, but he's not healthy. So what's the next thing in the cycle? It's the low armor. Even though I can't collect it, I want to defend it. I want to like deal damage, and then if I take damage, then I want to steal it from him. And he's finally getting LG, so that's why I'm over here pestering him, trying to keep him trapped. I somehow don't kill him, but that's okay, because even though the Quake symbol is in the way, there is a long ass time before Heavy is up. Long time. And he has nothing. He has guns, but he has no health. He can't do whatever he wants, so I'm like, alright, get the kill? It's not too bad. Now it's time to damage myself and steal this, and make my way over to the Heavy side. But for some reason, I guess what happened was I freaked him out, because he was up on high ground, and I think the rocket jump made him think that I was going to chase him high. So he dipped low through this puddle over here and where the rail ammo is, and I didn't go high though. I was just damaging myself and horizontally propelling myself towards Heavy side. And so the fake out ends up catching him, and I get a pretty clean kill because I'm going to position for Heavy. And the position that I'm having now is because I'm Doom. Because it's so easy to go back and forth between Heavy in this state that I'm not worried about losing it. I'm trying to see if I can get away with taking all the armor, or at least damaging him some. Okay, so I noticed that he moved to the far side, so I have enough time to jump over, and this pillar is going to give me a little bit of leeway. So even if I'm taking some damage, it'll block enough that I can steal the armor and then go to the Heavy. So even though I've taken a lot of damage, it's fine. He has no extra armor to get, and he's gonna have to play for the Mega. Okay, so I know he's not going for Rocket, which means he probably went for LG. Now that I hear him here, he's decided to go for Rail instead of getting the Mega, so I know that Mega's still up. This is why timing is so important. Because if I didn't have timing on the Mega, maybe I would have thought that he went and picked it up already, and then I would have just left it up there like a dummy the whole time, and like tried to fight him in a bad fight. But I didn't, because I had the timing still from the cycle before, and I knew that I could rotate based off of what he was sacrificing. He was sacrificing Mega to get a railgun. And so now I'm coming over here to replenish my LG, to cut him off from high ground and take a good fight, see what happens. Boom. Get him stuck to the ground, and he just... It was just trying too much there with rail at close range. I catch him doubling back for the rail, that's just easy peasy. You know, just made the right read, and so now I know because of the clean kill I have time to go get the light again and get the Heavy. So now I'm super fucking stacked. I know the exact Mega time. I know he's probably going to be hanging around the area. He's going to do two things. He's going to hang around the area to try to get Mega, so I'm just going to deal damage to it. I can't just rush in there blindly, or he'll LG the shit out of me, and then I could potentially lose control. So I want to bait it and deal damage, or I'm going to find out if he's rotating behind me. If I don't catch him with damage and he goes for rail, then I'll just take Mega while he gets it, and we'll make a trade. And while he gets the rail, that'll give me time to get high ground again and start working my way back.
Struggling to even get the rail, as we said, it's going to be a key weapon, and guess what?
So I'm trying to clear the area for tricky shit and what he's doing. See, I'm not like committing to it because I know that off the base stack of Sorlag, he's likely going to want to take an LG fight. And he's going to play for this. So I'm just playing with my weapon advantage. Just holding good position, going to deal good damage. And Tribolt coming into play perfectly here. Hit him with the double ESPN. Da-na-na, da-na-na. And so now I've taken damage and I've stolen this shit. He's got nothing. And what comes up before the Heavy? This armor.
The Heavies take up all the lights for free without any challenge.
And what did I say the objective is when you're a medium versus a tank? You want to play it slower, and you want them to be inactive on the map. So the fact that I'm up 3-0 right now, and he's only at maximum 100 health. Now, I don't know that he's below it at the moment. I know he's weak, but he might have collected enough health based on his pathing. So I'm like, okay, but now I just need to take center position and find him. Try to chip damage, don't overextend, just keep taking it slow, get clean kills so that he can't rush me off the spawn. He has to respect my position and my stack.
now he's got the whole map. He'll be willing to push back across and finish off his prey.
Okay, so I heard him below, and I just get lucky that he decided to go that way instead of the right, and I get a clean kill. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to stay there and try to rail him forever. I want to keep this nice 15-second split between Mega and Heavy right now. Because I've got all these guns, I've still got enough ammo, I can keep full control going. This isn't a point in the game where I need to sync the items up and play on one half of the map or the other. This map is still mine. So, one thing you can do on certain maps, against people that rail really well, is get really good at understanding the distance game you need for Tribolt. Because Tribolt can be that free peek that you do that allows you to damage them and they can't rail you. Or it bounces them and makes them very difficult, makes it very difficult for them to aim. You don't always have to like rail people head up. And here, I just catch him being desperate. He thought I was gonna like push towards the rail side, and he's just hoping that I go that way rather than confirming, and he's just going at full speed to try to go for this armor. And I catch him and just LG the shit out of him. It's a really easy fight. And so there, I'm like, okay, I could go for the armor, but I would keep ticking. So I'm like, I have enough time that I could go get this health, then go get this armor. Now I can go get the heavy. So I heard the light armor picked up below, so I know that both lights are at the same time, which could come into play in the next cycle. But now it's my job to see if I can like encroach in, and if I do a lot of damage first, I will take the Mega. If I don't, then I will just try to damage him and set up for the next heavy. Okay, so I'm baiting out his position, just reading what he's doing. Look at that Tribolt damage again. And so now this fight is good, and I'll explain why. It's not just because of the entry damage. So I do the entry damage, right? But now, where he's going, okay, he's going towards the jump pad side. If he takes the jump pad, I will pin him in the air. It'll be a free kill. But also, as I'm peeking here, look at my armor. I have 130 armor, and my health is decaying a little bit. But really, my health going into this fight right now, add 50 more. I'm 131, 136. Because I have the two bubbles right behind me to fight with. So right now I can literally deal max damage and recoup even if I don't get the kill. And then I can either catch him going up the jump pad, or I can quickly as Doom make it over here to this jump pad and go up and deny this armor. And I want to deny the high ground armor because it will be much easier to take that and go back to heavy than it will be to deny the lower one and then get to heavy. That would potentially give him a window to take it. So that's why I'm taking this fight. It's very important to do this right now. Killing a lot, and now I'm taking all the health from him, and guess where I'm going? High ground. Seeing if I can maybe get a kill. And I get it. So now I know when the timing of this is. And I know heavy's like, what, 59, 0? Something like that. Unfortunately, I run into the Doom double jump bug. Every now and then, double jump just happens instantly. And that actually costs me heavy armor here. But instead of trying to make up for it too much, like, I don't overcommit. I'm like, shit. All right, I'm going to lose out on the heavy now. I just have to accept it. I need to try to deal damage and just maintain timing. Okay, so 50, 58. So I just catch him with a little damage. I'm rotating. Like, all right, he'll probably go to rail now as I'm getting LG ammo. And now I'm going to contest for this light. Boom. So since I hit him and didn't take damage, I look for another one. As soon as I take damage, what do? I fall back to rail before he can get in good position to try to fight me. And here, I know he doesn't have LG. He just has rail and likely rocket. So I'm Doom. If he has rockets, this is going to be a tough fight. He has to hit me with mid-airs. If he rails me at this range, it's a long time to reload. I'm going to get 2 shotgun shots off before he even gets 2 rails off. Boom. So I've done 150 damage in the time he shot 1 shot because of the timing of knowing when he could come up there. And so I get another free kill. Now, I'm pretty weak. And my job here is to get the health. I know that he could spawn rocket or LG, and I just need to figure out what he's doing and avoid him. Okay, so he's going that way. Now I start trying to stall him for the heavy. I know that based off of his pathing, I can't get the light armor and the heavy because then he would go to the heavy and be able to get position because of his stack. So I'm like, it's better to just deny him the heavy right now, not let him get the overstack going because there's still plenty of time for him to come back if he turns it around now. I just spam him out. He doesn't hit the shot. Well, I'm still doing all right.
Take any chances. He just wants to play a nice, slow, calculated game against Maxter. None of this kerfuffle BS we've seen.
Now I've taken a lot of damage. That's just the way it is sometimes. So right now I'm conceding mega position. He would have to really overextend to try to rail me here, which that would just open up the map for the respawn anyway for me. So it's fine. Right now I'm trying to deny his rail angles and make it out alive because I'm railable. So I'm quickly getting the bubble, coming up here to deny position. I hear that he might be coming. And I'm like, okay, maybe he looped around. He RJ'd. So here, since he RJ'd, I'm just going to try to take a fight to trade here. We're going to fight for this. Either I'm going to go up 8-0 and get the heavy and be weak, or I'm going to be up 7-1, most likely, and then make him weak, though, so that off the spawn, I can obtain position and do what I want.
On the back foot now, but he's still aggressing 2 HP,
and there, I'm saying to myself, I should have just fought it out the whole way. I shouldn't have backed off to like try to tri-bolt him. I should have just stuck with LG the whole time and fought it out. Okay, so he picks up heavy, so I take this at the same time, and we're equal in stack, just not in weaponry right now. So here I'm just trying to stall him for the next mega. Does good damage. I take the safest drop. Now I'm just trying to get out without getting railed.
Yeah, lightning gun's been the pivotal weapon so far. So Maxter needs.
And here I cut underneath real fast, and since he didn't, the key here is since he did not, as you'll see, because I faked the jump, and I know he's up there, and since he didn't peek to fight me here, I'm like, okay, he's circling around fast to rocket side trying to get to heavy. If I move quickly enough to nail, I might be able to catch him with LG if he's just trying to jump normally. If he manages to go to rocket and he rocket jumps up, I won't be able to do it, but this is at least a shot to try to get control back if he makes the movement mistake, if he underestimates how quickly that I'm going to get into position, which he does. So I catch him predictably moving and just hit 100% LG. Now that gives me time to get the rail. Like, awesome. Let me get control back again. I have him in a bad spot, so I'm trying to just deal damage. And if I take a little, guess what's over here? So I deny that again, too. Okay, so I hear that, which lets me know I can drop. As soon as I hear the armor, I know I can drop at this angle safely. Now, whatever happens after that, that's whatever, but at least allows me to get to this position to potentially get the mega.
Magic Man has to pull something out of his hat here, Dan, as the rails again missing.
And so I'm just taking good fights with rail here, just making myself hard to hit, trying to catch him while he's leaving rooms. Just getting full control. Hear him down here. Hit a really good shot. I know he's just screaming, so I'm just looking for him.
The item control is on point. You can see just how careful he's being in and around the map. Normally we
see how I'm taking my time with these fights? Look how healthy I am still. It's been putting so much pressure in. Oh, he messed up, so I'll just keep machine gunning so that no matter what distance, I'll deal damage there.
Make sure it's done cleanly because you don't want to be giving up any.
I'm looking to kill him, but if he gets out alive, it's not the worst thing in the world because I know the mega time.
Oh, and Maxter actually gets a rail.
Well, catch him going for the other health, and I know that he's really weak. Now it's time to just clean that shit up and then get the mega. Okay, so I go up here. He's literally gambling here, but he has to because he's down 9 frags with less than 4 minutes left against Doom. He has to pull a miracle here, and he's just trying to show up at the right time. He has to hit 2 mid-airs, and he does. If he missed that second one, he would have lived with like 50 health. That's it. But because he got that cleanly, he went over to the heavy, and he's going to try to fight for it. But here he makes a mistake. he doesn't fire early enough, and he has the wrong weapon out. And when he's spitting here, he can't fire again until the spit is over. So I know that I can keep fighting. And so I'm like, well, even though he'd made a nice kill before, he made some mistakes trying to obtain position against Doom there at the heavy, and I got everything back.
And even when Maxter gets the frag, Rafa's right on top of that dinosaur again.
Yeah, just trying to abuse the fact that I have rail and he doesn't.
From Rafa, he's heating up, going for the triple E. Wow.
Almost get the 4 for 4.
Dude, Maxter delivering with
No
a
big deal,
shotgun
though.
and a heavy machine gun.
I hear where he's going. I'm like, alright. If I maintain this position, he can't get back into the game.
This looked like a textbook deep embrace.
Less than 3 minutes onto this one. Rough first map for Maxter indeed, but it is a best of 3. And there's still time. He can get some momentum going.
And there I'm like, there's no reason to overextend and maybe give up an easy kill on the jump pad, because once I'm taking the tick damage, it's like every second he gets a free wall hack. When he's hiding behind that pillar, he'll get to see the 10 damage tick. So going up the jump pad is pretty predictable then, even though I'm Doom and can double jump at any time. So I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to back off. Even if he does more damage, I'm going to collect these bubbles and I'm going to cleanse myself.
I don't know if he can pull it back, especially.
I get the kill anyway because he extends for more rail damage. Now I'm looking to punish some more. I thought he would maybe commit to the fight, so I was going to like try to rocket and then commit to punch. Since he backed off, I'm like, fine, I'll use the speed to get away. Just go try to collect Mega. Hits me with a nice shot. But now that I see him here, I know that Heavy's still up. I was thinking he was going to be rushing to Heavy to take it, but he stayed too long to look for damage. So now that he's gone to Nail, I know I can rush over and get this too. And I'm like, man, I still have full control. Just a couple little mistakes for him, like waiting around, has cost him items. Because he likes to look for free damage a lot.
Dealing damage and knowing he can restack while Maxter has nothing to work with, and regardless of the rails that Maxter starts hitting, again, Rafa right to the light, back to the Mega. Pretty standard game, and he's doing it beautifully. The execution is fantastic, Dan.
So here I'm just going to play a standard game to run out the clock, pretty much.
Best player in the world, so.
I wonder what Ruffles would be like without Ridges.
It's like that gamer Curry.
After this,
the trash talk.
After this commercial, we'll just go to the next game, to be honest. All right, let's go to Vale. No, don't get stuck on me. Come on. Yeah, what happened was, okay, this is a pretty standard start. So I I play the start the way that I am because of the champion that he's playing. If he starts with starting shotgun, and he just, because he's spawning right in front of the teleporter looking at the heavy, so he could just jump and get the heavy immediately. And so what happens is if you're the player that spawns at LG and you decide to go for rocket, and especially if you decide to go for the bottom light armor first by the window and then come back, if the person had decided to rush from heavy to shotgun here, they will beat you to the Mega. And at that point, if he wanted to, because he's Keel, he could, like, based on his position and having the heavy, he could drop to the floor and fight me on my way back, where I'm, like, predictably coming back into the room. And then he can make it a good fight for him because he has starting shotgun, he has grenades. He could potentially bully me and literally get full control off the bat. So my thought process is, okay, I just don't want to give full control away right away. So let me just do the standard thing, go get Mega, have LG.
House of Pain.
And then we'll see what happens from here.
Looks like we're starting off on Maxter, actually.
Okay, so he takes that, so I know he's probably got rail. I'm just trying to back out with spam, not take damage.
You leave my taco meat alone. How dare you? I'm very offended.
Roof.
As 20 seconds in, not that big.
Okay, so here I was just trying. Man, why did it fucking mute again? Get back up.
Taco meat alone. How dare you?
So here I'm trying to just see what he's going to go for since they're both at the same time. See if I can do some damage. So he's gonna go up this jump head. Now it normally would be a really bad fight for a lot of people, but it's not as bad because A, I don't have Railgun yet. And B, Keel has this very annoying passive where he takes less splash damage from all sources. It's not as big as like Ranger's self-damage reduction, but he takes like, what is it, like 20% less splash. So unless I'm hitting direct tri-bolts, he takes less damage here. So here I'm thinking, okay, I'm alright. Like he spammed a rocket and 2 nades and I've dodged that shit. And somehow just, it felt like he switched to rail really quickly and dealt the damage. So that's why I stuck around to shoot even more in the first place. But now I'm like, oh shit. And then the grenade bounced was me, and I'm like, all right, I'm not doing all right here. I need to just back out, collect this shit, give him the heavy. He's gonna have the advantage, and then he'll come bully his way to LG, but that'll be fine. So I'm here, and unfortunately, I literally don't hear shit. I don't. During the game, I didn't hear him jump through here at all. And so then he's just full speed, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I die. So now he's gotten a clean kill. And he's doing the right thing here. He has all of this to back onto. He knows that I might spawn at heavy, so he's going to go try to see if he can deal damage at it first. So he goes up here. Yep, he catches me. Catches a free rail. So that's good. Very good what he's doing. Rocket hurts so fucking bad. If I would have timed that better, instead of just rushing through, would have taken a little bit more time and then went through, I would be okay right now because I would be 100-100 getting LG, and I would probably work my way to Railgun and start setting up like a totem fortress because you know this shit's coming back. All right. But taking that huge rocket, it's no good. No good, guys. This is gonna hurt.
Yeah, was that the scoreboard?
Now I've allowed this man to get fully stacked, and he's got weapons, and he's hurt me.
Was that a me thing?
Okay.
So confused.
Now I'm in big trouble.
More energy drinks, but regardless, all right, Rafa is on the Galena.
Okay.
Maxter
He does a good job. He saw that I had laid it before. He goes to clear it out. And then somehow I don't hit him. Like he moved to a really predictable spot. It should be an easy shot against him. I missed. So he hits the rail and I'm like, all right, he might come through here and fight. Again, for some reason, I didn't hear him. He just rushes through at full speed in my face.
Yeah, but
So I didn't have the like first rocket ready. And I still dealt a lot of damage, but I might have been able to turn it around if I could have placed the first one more properly. So here he makes a big mistake. Let's go back. So once he gets a kill here, okay, he should know that once he moves to this side, he's on this side of the map, where am I likely going to spawn? Can anybody tell me? Where do you guys think that I'm going to spawn? The audio is just because I had packet loss. If I wasn't having packet loss, I would have heard him in both of those fights. Like I said, most of the time when I play on the SA server, it's pretty good. But for some reason during this match, it was very, very difficult. Yeah, I'm going to spawn next to heavy. So he's like over here contemplating what to do after he's weak. He needs to do one of two things. Here, since he's already committed to this side, he's just me like, all right, I made this mistake. I need to live with it. And I need to just collect this light armor here. And then I need to try to deny LG and just position for Mega. Because since he's over here, I'm going to spawn by the heavy. But then he decides to collect this and then go to the heavy. And then he goes up to jump head predictably. And I'd have base machine gun, it doesn't matter. All that easy damage, I just kill him. So now I get the kill back, which was likely going to happen, but it didn't need to be that easy. And then here, I made the mistake thinking that he would spawn. It would take like he would spawn by the portal, and it would take like an extra half second or a second for him to be here. And that was my misjudgment. And he got here very fast. So instead of punishing him as he's picking up the rocket, I was late to cutting it off, and it screwed me over. Here I catch him with LG, finish the fight with machine gun, and see how I'm like, okay, I'm not going to just go to heavy because now I'm too weak. I need to try to play for the next item.
leader's been eradicated, but
So I get this armor.
saw the importance of
I position
fast
here so that it makes him like second guess himself on what he's gonna do.
making sure you secure clean kills on
I hear that he's
your
dropped, so I
opponents.
hurry over to Mega. And this is my fuck up because I missed time by a half a second.
Do that this time.
I thought it was at 47
Mega.
coming up,
Baxter's there with the lightning gun. He's the
and he's gonna RJ up.
melted down. He's gonna rocket jump up. That's ballsy.
It was at like 47 and a half instead of coming up on the early part of it. So, it was a bit unfortunate to not knock him down with the RJ. But once he's up there, he was able to kill me because he had the right timing on it. It was a very good play from him to try to be aggressive there, and I was holding position too aggressively too early. And so I pay the price. And so now he's got full control,
Perfect timing. Does it?
which wouldn't be bad if I had a totem set up already, but I don't. I don't really have like a fortress of health going on. So now the shit could hit the fan. He makes a nice peculiar route here to go through to RJ up to catch me at the Tribolt, which most people wouldn't do. It was a very good move from him.
Takes him down. 2 frags up for Maxter.
And then I get a horrible spawn there again instead of spawning below, and then he's able to just
Another frag. He's stuck up the high ground.
catch me out for another frag because I have to hit Tribolt perfectly, and that's really hard to do when they're rushing you down because of the delay on it. So now he's gotten, because of my one timing mistake, he's gotten all these frags, and it's really putting a damper on me. I need to try to play slow for a while. Now, this is like the dangerous point of the game.
And this is just a different world. Again, apologies for the picks.
So he's going to get the Mega, and he's going to start hunting for me.
Reality that we have here, okay, we have to admit our faults. 5-2. As Rafa looks like he's
So I'm backing off.
for now. 2:30 in, still very, very early.
And I go up the jump pad tentatively. Most people will like jump and go here and they're like aggressive. But I know that since he's so stacked, he might be baiting this, and that's why I'm playing the way that I am.
Maxter off to a strong start, and again,
And he just got there so fast, I just couldn't get out quick enough. Like, I shouldn't have taken as much damage as I should have, or I might have been able to trade more, but it just didn't work out that well for me.
Not converting on big damage on that one. But the key
So now I'm just trying to safely like work my way over to the side of the map, which I do.
was not clearing out the totems on exile.
And because I tried to catch him at the heavy, and I unsuccessfully did it, I will lose out on the Mega now. I should have just played safe and just stayed at the Mega and tried to fight with LG.
He just wants to do as much damage as he can. He knows he's got a totem in the pocket. Could even get a frag here, but he's
And I back off here because even though he is railable, he's likely got shotgun and rockets, and he's in a position where like I can't really push him right now. And if I die, it's going to be really bad. So I'm going to try to just go for control instead and slowly work the kill in.
He's managed to stack, which puts him up perfectly to take these 2 lights, because he's the one that backed off.
Okay, so he hears me go to rail. He's going to start positioning for heavy.
Management from Rafa.
Every time you
And this is a huge gamble that he's taking. Like, I get what he's trying to do. He's going to try to like trade his life, and it works out horribly. Like, he should never, ever come out successful with this situation. He should never get the kill and get the heavy. So after that, I was like, holy shit. I was like, I just lost a 90% win rate situation. He hit these crazy air rockets and stole the heavy and got the kill. I should spawn at LG, which should give me Mega, which I do get. So it's not the worst thing. It's just, it's still bad, because that should have been me going 3 to 5, getting the heavy, and then going to Mega, and slowly like contesting with control.
Oh man.
I'm gonna do some chip damage,
That's gonna leave Moo.
trying to catch him here at the jump pad.
340. Oh,
And then I take a rocket and grenade and get bounced shittily again, get mid-aired again,
into the air
And
rocket.
then-
Oh my god, into the acid. Rafa goes down.
and then die in the acid.
Please. What other tricks do you have up your sleeve, you madman?
Maxter's he's just Steph Curry out here. He's fucking hitting everything. Doesn't matter if he's at half court. Doesn't matter if he's like getting hit behind the line. He's just hitting everything. What am I supposed to do?
You almost made that work too, Dan.
Because I've made the right positional plays and like what I'm supposed to be doing.
Dan absolutely
It's just
succeeded.
A, I haven't dealt enough damage, and B, he's just worked his way out of it like amazingly.
Just as he spit his coffee all over the place, there's another rail. Maxter going through the telly and hits a vertical rail.
Man, and then there he's like gambling to get to the portal fast enough, and it works out. Like,
On Rafa, 7-2.
could have turned the game around there, but he managed to get through instead of being stuffed at the LG and like in the hallway.
On the heavy,
And so he gets another kill.
He's just gonna stroll on round towards his Mega, and Rafa has literally been hit by a truck. He's got one totem up now. He needs to start from scratch, and he's got 6 minutes of a 5-frag deficit to do it in.
So I can still come back even though it's annoying as shit what has happened. So I'm just trying to stay composed. I'm like, I still have time. It's really tough because of the restack potential and his burst damage, but so right now I'm trying to play the distance game and the rail game, and Maxter is just hitting so hard. He's hit 2 even though I've hit 2, and now he's like gonna hunt for me, which is what he should. This is what he should be doing right now. Okay, so I try to get some damage. I somehow don't hit a rail while he's standing still. Just my fuck up, and then he hits 2 in a row.
This is insane.
He's got full control again. I can't really contest rail G.
That's why you can't give him momentum. Unfortunately, he didn't get any in the last map. Rafa controlled it perfectly, but he hasn't been able to control the chaos.
And then I like back. I was gonna go through the doorway, and then I thought I had heard him like coming to nail. So then I backed up, which like put me right into his lap. And so he gets another clean kill. I was like, okay, if he's gonna like go to nail and try to RG up to get me, I'll back off. But I misjudged the sound. He gets another kill. And so he's doing what he should do though. Keep the pressure on as the tank. Like he's feeling his aim. He should keep taking good fights now. It's like it's not his fault that he's gotten away with like, look at it this way. There were a couple fights in a row where he pulled off miracles. He shouldn't feel fucking sorry about it. Like, he has full control. He should keep the pressure on. Just keep doing it. Keep trying to get into my head and, like, just keep being aggressive. So that's what he's trying to do. I finally find a good instance to hit a few rails. Like, let's see here. But this is his missed opportunity to, like, get another kill. He could have, like, just ended the game there and, like, dropped down and fought with LG. He misses the RJ. I LG'd the shit out of him on the pad, and I make it out. I finally get some nice rails to hit, and I at least make a frag back. And I'm like, okay, he's at rail now. I need to start like setting totems up there so that if he starts taking position, if he starts taking position by the portal to play safe and then go through, he at least takes some damage because I'm gonna have to be the one chasing. So this is not gonna be a game where I get the totems to be like the overheal for me. My way to come back is to try to put them in places where he might run into them eventually, so that it's like I rail him and he takes that damage. So it's like 120 something. Because Keel also takes less damage when he hits totems. He doesn't take 40 damage, he takes like 34 because of the splash damage reduction passive. And then here I hear the pad, so I'm gonna go defend this shit. Like, okay. And then I miss the rail as he predictably comes through, and he's just rushing.
But here comes Maxter. He's not afraid, he's just running straight at him with the rail and the pineapple.
I do no damage, even though the rocket looked really close. And then I damaged myself, and then he just comes through and just rails the shit on me. But I have to take those fights because I'm down so much. Like, even though I was like, shit, that all went wrong, I was like, I have to fight for this heavy because I just don't have time. He's created such a big gap. I was like, I have to see if like I can hit a rocket as he comes through and it buys me space and I could take it, or he like only goes 1 for 2. I'm the one that's being forced to have to like try to make bad plays work now.
66% rail.
And off the spawn, just another rail, leaving Rafa so weak. And as we said, the totem game has to be perfect, and Maxter again deleting them just on cue. Doing a great job. Overstack's not a factor, and Rafa is left.
Damn, like I said, he should just keep the pressure on.
Mechanics that he has to deal with. He has to
just keep it on and don't overcommit.
Chew through this stack of Maxter, and it's just not happening, and it is not easy by any means here. As another heavy goes to Maxter. There's the LG pushing Rafa down, missing with the rail conversion, but that's okay because Maxter has complete control of the map.
Yep. I still can't really do much.
Such a stack, and Rafa just can't handle the speed, the tempo, the aggression, and the aim. All of it combined. fine. Maxter,
He's fine. The rail doesn't matter.
Just scary. And Rafa, he's running out of time. 3 minutes now. He has to make something happen. But every time he takes a push, he's getting hit by a rail. I mean,
Yep, so now I need to try to go to heavy.
Situation doesn't matter. He's hitting it. And another one.
Oh my god. Into the shotgun, the pineapple just going next.
I'm just
to
doing
Rafa.
no damage as he's entering the room. He's just crushing me.
Into 3. And Dan, I don't know if anyone saw this coming because you got the picks wrong. But 8 frag lead for the Magic Man, sending us into map number 3. More than likely. Again, it would take an absolute miracle at this point. The Mega into the totem. This is good
Roof.
damage for Rafa.
It took me so long to deal that much damage.
15 HP after that scuffle, and Rafa is still weak and can't really convert off the spawn.
You can ban scale, but you're still gonna get a kill. And
You can't ban Max.
Yeah, in this matchup, you have to play slow as Galena. And like, I just had 3 good opportunities in a row where I just got crushed, and I could have taken control back, gotten the kill, and I just failed. And when you fail like really good percentages in a row like that, it's really hard to win. It just is. Like when people give you shit, you have to take advantage of it.
He's just gonna light cut down pineapple from behind. Rafa's just reeling at the moment.
And then here, I don't hear any of that. Like, if you look at it, he's not even walking, he's running. And then he just telefragged me.
Oh no!
Okay.
The timing of that and Rafa. I would love to see the eye roll.
At least he
Let's take
found
a look at it.
the abusing
Feels
side.
bad, man.
Wow, that just sums up this map for Rafa. Everything's gone maxed his way, but he's forced Rafa's hand, and Rafa didn't have the cards today.
Oh man. I mean, the cards are firmly in Maxter's hands. He's out there doing street magic right now.
So yeah, this game was because I failed in the mid game. And then once he got those kills, he did a very, very good job. So the biggest mistake was the Mega mistime, which allowed him to get pretty stacked, and he got 2 clean kills off of it. That was the first big downfall. Then like trying to come back and like losing more frags in like bad situations for him is just where it just steamrolled into a shit show for me. And he did what he's supposed to. He just kept the pressure on, like kept in positions where he could deal burst damage with rockets and grenades or shotguns and grenades. And if not, he would just be at positions where he could rail me, and it didn't matter if I railed him with the way that control was going, because then he would just fall back on heavy or fall back on Mega in this light armor, and he would just recoup it. I would have to hit so many in a row cleanly to do anything. And that's what you want to do. He played it very well.
Wow, putting on a show.
So we'll go to the next map. Exile.
Final.
Written.
No, thank you. Shh. We're like the Walking Deaf right now. I can't hear you. Am I surprised at how well Noso did? I mean, I'm pleasantly surprised at how both of them did. How Noso and Maxter did. No, stopping that. Pause the damn game. Thank you. Noso has been his like practice regimen has been much better this last stage, and this time he was able to go to the north, like he was explaining. He was able to go to the north of Brazil so that he would ping 120 to NA rather than what does he normally ping now? 130, 140 from his hometown, like minimum. So, you know, his ping condition was a little bit better. And for them, with the way that it works, like the delta is so even when they play against Europeans that the game is on NA the whole time because the ping difference is almost nothing. So gave him the opportunity to have like a more like even playing
GG
ground.
legend, GG.
Because from SA they ping like 200 something to Europe. So it's just 200 is like the breaking point. Like 140 when it feels okay, like when there's no packet loss, is it's playable, it's doable. But yeah, once you get to like the 200 range, it's like, no thank you. That's where like the drop off is. So as we go into this one, let me back it up a little bit.
Sure, but let's just hope we get a nice.
So it's very important in this matchup for me to play super controlled in the beginning and get the lead because you don't want to be chasing Strogg. Like, even though the map, since like the update, it can kind of fuck up Strogg's movement, you can't rely on that. You have to rely on if he's going to be moving well. So as BJ, you don't want to be behind and trying to chase this crouch slider around this map, because he can use especially the LG to nail area very well to avoid you. Excuse me, one sec. But the advantage that I have is if I take the right fights, I can really take advantage of Strogg's predictability. If I use dual wield shotgun well, or even find him in a good fight and use dual wield LG, I can potentially steamroll the game and start like forcing some bad spawns and try to run away with the game.
Tight matchup here. So we're gonna go on to Exile and Sync Error lurking in the shadows. He might put up some frags too. We're live, map number 3, ladies and gentlemen. Rafa versus Maxter.
So just standard, I grab this shit and I'm respecting that he's probably over at heavy, so I can't just go to shotgun and LG if he rushes there. And I don't want to go to rail either since he's Strogg. He's like fast enough that he might make it there. And I don't really have the weaponry, so I'm just like, all right, let me go to nail, figure out where he is, and then I'll get weaponry on the opposite side of the map.
Stage 2 finals.
I almost fall in. Almost.
Oof, I am ready.
So since he's here, I immediately need to leave. So that's what I start to do. But I take this position because if he comes through the portal, he's going to come through predictably. Because since I backed off first, this gives me the head start on the angle through the portal and with nail gun. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. And I have dual wield though. So if he wants to go all in, like at full speed, I'll pop it and I'll just go pop, 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 and it'll be a free kill. So he has to respect the position. So I hear him, he's likely going for rail, so that gives me the chance to go to rocket because there's no way that he can contest it whatsoever. So now, just slowly getting some weapons together, figuring out what the battle should be for the next cycle. Like, all right, I think he's holding position where he actually is now, which is like at the bridge. Which gives me a chance to get rail. So since he uses Peeker, I move over to heavy first to see if he comes contested. Because if he does, okay, if he tries to contest at the ledge here while both items are up and I get heavy cleanly, I will beat him to the mega. I will get there faster to where I can cut him off, go through the portal, whether it's the LG portal or rush towards the machine gun portal, and potentially really contest for it. So since he's not here, I know he's decided to go for mega. So now I'm just taking position. I know that he's likely, after the beginning of the game, only 100 armor now. And so I am healthier. So I'm going to look for an opening since he doesn't have Peeker. I have dual wield and I'm a little more stacked. Okay, I know. Okay, he's likely fallen. Let me just recoup my rockets for the next set of shit. We look for rails. He hits one that unfortunately knocks me down. So I can't contest anymore. And I'm just listening out, trying to figure out what he's going to do. Take safe position.
strike damage. That's a good rail there as Maxter gets caught.
Trying to look to deal more. I don't, but it's okay. I'll just go get the Mega then.
Rafa's got timing on both items.
And there, I take a little extra time behind the pillar because what happens is when you take out Peeker and Peeker's seen you, it gives Strogg like visor sight essentially on you for like half a second to a second, even after Peeker dies. So that's why a lot of times you'll see Strogg's like rail, then they'll dodge back around the corner, pop Peeker out, and still have rail available so that once Peeker's dead, they re-peek for a free like wall hack shot. That's why I took a little extra time to like throw off the timing of his peeking. So here I try to catch him doubling back for more damage because Maxter loves to rail. And so since I didn't take any damage, I'm still should be okay in taking position. So now that I've caught him trying to cross here, it's time to try to catch him. Thankfully I do. I catch his movement. And that complete the kill. So I'm doing exactly what I need to do. Playing controlled, get the first frag. So since I heard that, I know I need to like try to defend that. I hear him above. So now I'm going to try to see if I can hurry over to Mega. And I've noticed that he's not even pushing the position. Like he didn't even go for Mega first, which he could have gotten. He might have taken some damage, but he decided to give it up altogether. I'm like, all right, just clearing the most obvious spot. He hits a rail from a nice angle, but I'm still okay. I'm 175, 100.
Negating any kind of extra damage to the Peeker.
I saw him, so now I'm trying to catch him, like exiting. I don't do much, but it's okay. Still putting pressure on him. Trying to see if he'll jump. And here, this is just... This should be an ass whipping. But I whiffed a rocket instead of hitting a direct, which would have like stuck him into this wall. And I would have killed him. I whiff, and so then he like goes past and gets the heavy. He took a big risk. It's going to pay off. I managed to get out, and I'm going to play safe here. Because I still have all the guns, I have the lead. He decides to like aggressively push looking for me before the Mega, instead of going the safer route and just getting control and then trying to look for it that way. But I was ready for it. And so I hit him with the rocket, and as soon as I hit that damage, I popped a wield. And he had to hit a direct to kill me. And that's okay. Still going to be up 1. I'm contesting the Mega. I know I'm not going to be able to get it, but it's all about like forcing him into a position so I can get the armor and get out. And try to get guns to get ready for heavy. So since he's taking good position, I back off. And this route I'm taking right here, I'm going to go to the vials and go to rail. But as soon as I heard the jump pad, I'm like, holy shit, did he forget the heavy timing? Heavy's up. Him going up the jump pad cost him control here. So he loses control. He uses his peeker for some reason, which now he doesn't have it. He should have saved it. And so now I've completely cut him off on the Mega side of the map. So like, he made a mistake before, which paid off. But now this mistake, like I'm thinking about it, and I just don't understand why he went up the jump pad. Like, from where I was, I could definitely like push back through a lot faster than he expected. And it just gave me the space. As soon as I heard that sound cue, I'm like, he's not going to be able to hit me in time. I could take the path and protect myself, and I'm going to get this heavy. And it just, he gave me full control, and he didn't have to.
Gets a little bit better of a stack. We're going to see more of that. But the stack right now firmly in Rafa's favor.
And this is a big period of the game for Maxter to stabilize because, as you say, Rafa's got full control. Now the items have a big split between.
So now I'm trying to just catch him, deal some damage, maybe get a kill. But I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to like overextend to get him, and then he circles around me and gets the heavy. So I'm just going to focus on control for now.
Huge stack he's got in his favor.
He's doing a good job at taking positions right now where it's difficult to push him. He has escape routes. He's doing what he needs to do to buy himself some time.
So wants to make sure he delays the pickup and punishes the pickup as much as he can, but also cannot forfeit any of these items.
Yep. So I'm just slowly trying to like zone him out. I don't want to like run into unnecessary rockets. I heard him take the armor as I take the heavy, because you can hear that from there. So I figured he might be hanging around the area since I don't hear anything, and that's why I cleared it with Tribolt. And it just, such huge damage to deal there. Even though I took a rail, that doesn't matter. Like, look at my stack. Dealing the damage to him is what is important for the next like cycle. Crazy rail to hit there, but I should still be okay again. Dual wielding to like zone him out. And he looks for one too many. He's like starting to feel like his rail aim is hot, and I just hadn't hit anything yet, and now I finally paid him back. And I knew he was screaming. So now I start taking position to figure out where he is. I'm like, oh, he's in the tunnel. Let me see if I can just, because he has to hit a direct spam rocket to kill me. Even if he hits a rail, I'm going to hold position where either I'm going to kill him in the time it takes for him to reload too, or then I'll just back off and go get heavy armor, which is at my back. I guess correctly on the double back, boom, get the kill, and go get the heavy. He just had a case of one more shot itis at the Mega. He was looking too hard to deal a kill, whereas he should have just taken the win on all the damage he did and secured control for himself. And then in the next 30 seconds looked to be super aggressive. But because he did that and I dealt that damage back to him, he didn't have anything to fall back onto.
As well, he'd done his job by hitting 2 or 3 rails in a row. He went back for one more that wouldn't even have finished Rafa, and it cost him dearly. Going down a couple of frags.
Okay, so here I'm based off of him having heavy machine gun and he hits so fucking hard. I'm like, all right, I'm not going to peek to contest again, even though I have like the BJ passive. I'm just going to go lower, try to take the health and deal damage on the Mega and deny him from getting the Mega and the armor. So I mess up the second spam, but it's okay. I start taking position so he can't drop down on me. And so I'm looking to see if he'll go for guns. What's he going to do? Because he just has machine gun still. And he decides to just peek here to deal damage. Where, again, he's in a spot where if he takes damage, he's fucked. So now he's railed. Because I knew he didn't have any armor. I did good damage to him before he even got the Mega. And so now he's trapped. He doesn't have any real good options. So I hear him pop that. I'm like, okay. Like, he's not going to get me with it. Like, I have rail, I have shotgun. I know he can't move, so I know it's safe to not worry about him jumping to that while I'm getting the heavy. So I go to the heavy. And then go back to deny position. Boom, get a free kill. Now here, I should just dominate the game. Like, for real. The fact that I don't dominate this game is really bad for me. And I'll show you the fight eventually that, like, falls apart. And what I should have done differently. Should have hit that, but even missing it is okay. I just need to deny him rail for now. And just get super stacked. So that if I engage him, I can rush him.
Halfway in, it kind of backfired and Rafa's up by 3.
So collect the Mega, have a nice split between the majors still. Still trying to like bait him out with sounds. Figure out where he is. Nice spam from him. He literally needed to spam at that time or I would have dropped and dealt a ton. Okay, so here he goes up the pad. I know he doesn't have Peeker to fuck me up as I try to come through. So I pop dual wield just to secure the item. I don't really do much damage, but it's okay. I just made sure I got the heavy. I get this again. I still have a better stack. And now I'm going to go try to deny this position. And since he's not peeked out yet, that's why I want to like push aggressively. So there, unfortunately, I should have dealt more damage. But since I didn't, I'm adapting. I'm like, okay, let me just like take positions where it's hard to hit with rockets. And let me try to make up for this fucked up situation of mine and deal damage on the Mega. So I do a lot of Tri-Bolt damage. And I just missed the rail. So since I missed the rail, I'm like, both armors are up. I'm gonna try to go for this armor and then work my way around to heavy and either damage it or, you know, fight all in, depending on his position. So again, he does a strange peeker. So I'm like, since he did the peeker, I'm like, okay, I can shoot it, take the armor, and on the run, I could just go through the portal real fast. But I underestimate his position and like where he's gonna go. And he got there so much faster than I thought. Like to be able to keep pursuing with damage. And so by this point, as soon as I'm going out the pad, I'm like, wow, that worked horribly. And now I just need to fight and deal max damage and die. And if I kill him over here, or I mean, if I keep him over here, I'll likely spawn at Rocket. And if I spawn at Rocket, it gives me a chance to keep control going for myself. Whereas if I keep running away from him right now is not a good time to try to survive because A, it's Strog, he'll likely catch me. And the odds and likelihood of me pulling out a kill while he's chasing me and he did all that entry damage is not good. So I need to just, as he's predictably going up the pad to kill me, deal the max damage. And this is the fuck up from him. He went for the health. Him going for the health gave me enough time, because it's only 2 seconds to respawn now, not 3, to spawn it at the rocket launcher. If he just said fuck it to the health and went towards the heavy, I won't spawn there. I'll spawn like at nail gun or down at machine gun or like shit, I don't know. There's like a couple others, but I wouldn't have spawned at heavy. The most important thing for him there was to force the spawn, and he messed it up. And so I get there, he's trying to deny me, but like he just runs through and eats an easy rocket. He's like right in my face. So even though it's an air rocket, it's easy to hit. Even if I didn't hit that first one, he's going to predictably land on the ground and I'll hit the follow-up anyway. So I get control back. Like all he had to do was not go for the health bubble. And it would have been 4 versus 2, and he would have had good control and good weapons, whereas I wouldn't have. So now I'm like, okay, he's probably going to gamble to go back like for this next mega. Let me get LG and let me get my ass in there. Let me get in that room and let me assert dominance. So here I'm like, okay, he doesn't have any armor yet. So I'm thinking to myself, I should be able to take dual wield, even though I don't have heavy machine gun, and make good of this. But in reality, that's a risk, because what happens with BJ is if you don't get the jump on the guy and you try to dual wield with machine gun or LG, your arms add to your chest's hitbox. So if you're aiming heavy machine gun or LG at the chest, you can out-duel them sometimes, even though they have 2 guns. Because like the spread on machine gun is a bit bigger. Or like, you know, just certain LG fights, if you're ready, you can just hit 100% LG against BJ if you're just aiming at his chest and he entered the wrong fight at the wrong time. And so that's what happens here. This is what I should not have done. Immediately at this fight, I should go to the right, work my way to nail, jump down to the portal, and then go fight him. Because then he has to make a choice. He has to fight for Mega with just machine gun while I have weapons and dual wield, or he backs off to rocket and I zone him out and then I take all the items. But fighting him straight up here, even though I have the stack and dual wield, is the wrong move because I don't have heavy machine gun. And I can't close the gap fast enough to get into LG range or shotgun range.
All that work from Axton now down the drain. Opposition for the Mega with the heavy machine gun. Rafa just wants to do something. He knows there's only a machine gun to work with.
And there, I hit fucking, what is it, 16 damage to his like, however much it was. And then as I was trying to like go around the corner, I like warp back and then blow myself up. So literally the worst fucking thing happened there. And like I said, I shouldn't have done that. I should have played it safer and went down to the bottom right, cleared the area, cleared down to the portal so it makes a harder decision instead of trying to fight him straight up. So that's very bad for me. Because now he's going to get Mega. He has position. I have to give that shit up. Okay, now I go through the portal here because I timed the rocket and I know that he's likely going to go for heavy. So I'm getting this while he goes for heavy. So I'm moving around. I'm trying to deny rail. I get there late. So here, I need to be looking at this portal the entire time. This is another mistake for me in this area. I need to look at this portal the entire time because if he takes this one and I'm ready for it, I can deal a shit ton of damage and maybe turn this around. But if I'm like debating, is he going to go through this portal or is he going to go through the one behind me and I'm not looking at the right one at the right time, he's going to get the jump because he's strong and he could go through very fast and get position. But if I'm ready, it'll be all right. So here, instead of just making one choice and sticking with it, I was trying to wait and like react. And in this situation, you can't react. You just need to make a choice, and then if he makes the other one, just leave.
Rafa's done an amazing job of managing the pickup of the rail.
So I take that out, and so I'm like, okay, I'm denying that. He probably hears me shooting. He won't come through. Well, of course he comes through as soon as I stop. I should have just looked at it the whole time. So eat a bad rocket. He's still doing all right. And now my job is to just try to get the Mega. It's like at this situation, I was like, I can't let him get full control here. So I at least need to deny it, even if I take damage with how this fight is going. I take it, and he smartly is like, okay, Maxter's thing is that, okay, that situation didn't work out for me, but I still have time. I still have time to come back and to close the gap. So he goes and he secures the heavy position for himself.
Not quite the best.
But actually, he decides to go to high ground.
He was hesitant to go around the corner as he should be, but
And
he
I,
settled it right there.
like, if I were him, I would have backed off to heavy. Like, if he's timing it correctly, because he's the last one that got it, he should have been there. So, if anything comes from this game, especially, more so than the Deep Embrace game, Maxter needs to work on his timing. Like, Maxter does a great job of taking positions and being unpredictable and dealing free damage and whatnot. And he has great movement and good map awareness, but he needs to time better. If he times better, he can limit the amount of times in the game that he loses control. There's no reason that I should have gotten Mega and then Heavy here. He should have gotten this for sure. Like, he could have held position and fought for it. So I'm not sure why he did what he did.
There, those are kind of one of the Maxter plays that we would have seen.
But if he doesn't have timing, he probably thought that it was longer. Like, when I picked the time between Mega and Heavy coming up, he probably thought was longer. So that's why he didn't go there. Whereas if he had the timing, because he's the last one that picked that shit up, he should know that he could hold there, and it would take me too long to reach there effectively and to gain good fighting position.
Push through.
So I get all the guns. Like, all right, let me start working my way back to Mega. I hit a nice rail, so I start pushing to force him out of position. Looking to catch him. I'm like, all right, I won't waste my time too long. I want to get Mega and make sure that I can go to Heavy. I don't know how the fuck he hit that. Let's watch that again.
No rockets. Yeah, but now look at what has happened. And hide and try and stabilize as we are 3 minutes, less than that 3 minutes left.
So I get this Mega and I jump, and he somehow hits me on the Mega side of the bridge. How the fuck did he hit that? So he hits that shot. Okay, so I'm like, all right, I still have control. He's stuck there. He's likely going to go through the portal. So I need to look at the portal as I work my way to Heavy. And mistakenly think that he'll take his time to go through. I should have just kept rail out. And even still, even though I've taken 2 rails, I'm still okay because I have dual wield and I know the exact timing of Heavy, and I can cut, even though he's Strog, I can cut him off faster to Heavy than he can me right now. So I pop it right away. I have shotguns ready. 36 is fine. That's whatever. That's fine that I did that because I know that he doesn't have any armor. So as soon as I get this Heavy, I'm going to go up this fucking jump pad. If he sticks around here, I'm going up to jump pad. If he backs off, then whatever. I'm going to move around and try to cut him off and deny more armor and then get ready for the next Mega.
It's happening again, Dan, the magic.
And see, I'm still healthy. I'm like, okay, he's really weak. I have dual wield. This should take 2 shots. And I shouldn't have to deal much damage, and he's dead because he's stuck around here. 4 damage. 16 damage. And he hits 2 mid-airs. I would do that move 100% of the time. If I was in that exact same situation again, I would do the same thing. Because the odds are in my favor for that to be a lot better than how that turned out. The fact that I dealt, what, 20 damage in 2 shotgun shots when he's like 68 health or some shit like that in that position where he shouldn't be all-inning. That should just be a kill and I get full control again. So the game's still not over though. He's like, I know that he's weak, even though I lost that. I'm like, all right, whatever. Like, I'll just fucking deal with it. I get the machine gun spawn. I'm going to get the armor. And then I'm going to get position again. Getting guns. I'm like, all right. So since he hit that sick rail there, I can't just push the Mega now. I have to try to just deal damage and work my way to rocket launcher.
cross is fantastic. That has to make Rafa be very careful with his next
I
move. He's
do,
gonna eat another
and I at least dealt some good chips, so we're about even now.
good dodging.
And I know that, so I'm like, let me take position to deny him, figure out where he's going. If he goes to shotgun underneath me, I'll have rockets ready for when he goes to heavy. If he goes the high ground on the bridge towards heavy, I can LG him. If he comes this way, I can LG the shit out of him.
But Maxter after this
And so I start LGing him, and I watched this back already. On my screen, I'm all over him with LG. Like when I was playing, I was like all over him, and as he's dropping here, and I'm getting like no ticks. I'm getting like tick, 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 even though he's like dropping on my LG the entire time. And then when I watch the spectator point of view, my crosshair's not even fucking on him. It was crazy. And there's like, so I should have gotten another kill here as he's like just dropping down onto LG. And I don't get it. So this is where the game is potentially going to turn to shit, because he gets heavy and he can force me to spawn at nail, where I don't really have good options, and he might be able to chase me down. If he catches me here, boom. It's a really good rail. And he's doing what he should do right now. He's trying to chase me down. He's he's looking to cut me off. He's done a lot of damage. He knows I don't have any armor. He needs to take the lead right now.
He's left all the health.
He needs to make me feel that pressure of trying to make the comeback. Because when you're making the comeback, you're the one that has to then force the initiative. Whereas then he can take more defensive opportunities and he doesn't have to go for everything.
Damage, what a bloody madman.
So he's looking for me. So far, I've successfully juked him, but
He's up in a second. Rafa's going for the rail.
Yep.
Max is there. He's hit him. Rafa's so low.
it looked like like when he drew up Peeker here,
Madman.
it like got stuck against the like wall behind him here. Like there's like a lump on the wall or something, and it's like stuck there. Like he can't move it. It's like stuck to the left, so he's trying to move it out, and then he's just like, fuck it. I'll just get rid of it. I've wasted so much time, which is good. It's good from him to improvise on that. And he gets the mega, and he should rush to heavy. So he catches me going for rocket, because I thought that he would try to cut off the center of the map, or go lower. Roof it. That's a good screenshot right there. Roof at that. So I thought he was going to go to the center to cut me off, because it's like more of a defensive position to hold. Here I was trying to get myself an RL in exchange for allowing a free heavy. But he made a good job cutting me off. But hitting the rocket that I did is huge, because now he's not going to be overstacked with armor. He's just going to be stacked. Now the biggest thing is he doesn't have rail ammo. And this is going to come back to bite him, because he does not play the next 30 seconds correctly with his ammo. And I'll explain it. So I go to dual wield to see if I can catch him or just deal damage. If I catch him with something really good, I'll try to finish it. Like if I can pin him against the wall. If not, I'll just work my way out of the room and make sure that I don't die. And that's what happened. So I have the timing of the heavy. I know it's up at 5. And I'm just going to work my way out and try to, like, I know that I still have time to try to make this comeback. So now he was like trying to protect this, thinking I'm going to keep pushing him. He wasted more LG ammo. So right now the boy has 0 rail and almost no LG. And he's right next to rail.
now by Rafa, and Maxter is in full control.
And he doesn't go to rail to get more rail ammo. He's trying to chase me. And he doesn't have, if I keep running, he doesn't have rail to shoot me. And he doesn't have much LG ammo to fight this either. So this is a really peculiar situation. He's like making some big ballsy play to like try to catch me off guard to close the game out. For some reason, he feels he can't win 5-4. So he's like trying to win it now. And that bites him in the ass. I turn around, deal a bunch of damage, and now he's like panicking. He's like, shit, I don't remember when the mega is. He knows when the heavy is during the last fight, like after he got the kill and when he got it, but now he doesn't remember the mega, and he's taken a lot of free damage, and his ammo is shit. So now he's like, I don't know if I want to stick around here. So I'm like moving around. I know the mega time, so I'm moving in to get ammo and like just fucking rush in there. Like I have to. This is the point of the game where like equal on stack. This is my opportunity. he's made this mistake, like from the last fight. I need to try to do this. So he still has a chance to get rail ammo and get out. He does not. So he hasn't gotten himself any more rail ammo. And also, there's some rail ammo up here. So when we took that fight up here, and then I did damage and then dropped down, he could have dropped to get the rail ammo here, and then listened and waited, and then went the other way, so that he could at least rail and run. But he still hasn't done that, so he can't do that. That's not an option for him. He said to give up control because he hasn't gotten the right ammo. So now he's playing the lower area, which it is hard to catch Strogg down there. He's trying to scope me out here through the portal with Peeker, which is fine.
Oh, he's seen the pickup. He knows how weak he is.
Okay, he knows I just left from Mega then, so he likely knows that it's at like 02. I know that he's probably near the portal, but I'm like, okay, this is a minute left. I need to focus on, since the opportunity is there, is getting fully stacked, because I'm going to have to push likely in a very bad area.
Just have to run now. The heavy's up, but
And I'm like, if he approaches me at heavy right now, he'll die anyway. So I do that. I hear him go through the portal. So now I go to the portal to force him to go somewhere else. I need him to go somewhere else and try to figure out where he's going. And then this is going to be a game of just open the correct door. Who's behind? Is he behind door number 1? Or is he behind door number 2? If you choose the right one, you'll get him. If not, he'll get away, and then you'll need to play this stupid game again. Which door is he behind? Which option has he chosen?
opportunity for the American. He just has to find Max.
So I dropped for the files, and I heard him double back. So I know that he's likely going to go through the portal again.
Can Maxter slip and slide?
I make sure that I have rail in case I need to catch him. So I'm like, okay, he doubled back. I'll go through and I'll go back to the center again because I have another opportunity to try to find him before the mega comes up. And I need to do it before he gets, you know, all the weaponry back and all this. Son of a biscuit. Get the sound back. And so now I'm just going to, in my head, I was like, I think he's going to do the same move again because he won't expect me to expect him to do the same thing twice. He won't pick rock twice in a row. But boy, does he.
One of the biggest upsets.
And so I catch him. The big thing here is this area is, we're going to call it clumpy. This is a clumpy little area of the map right now. So if I catch him with LG correctly, it makes it difficult to jump into here. So that's why I pop dual wield. Because if I catch him at all, it'll give him a little extra boost. And it might make him stumble his movement and allow me to catch him. Because otherwise, if I don't, it's going to be really hard too. Because he has the crouch sliding and mobility around corners and I don't. So I do catch him and it fucks up his movement. And it gives me an opportunity to chase it down. And I'm just going for it here. I'm like, dude, if he hits 3 for 3 here, then God bless this man. All right? Good for him. But I have to. This is a great opportunity. I need to just chase it down no matter what. I need to tie the game. This is the best chance. So I tie it. And so now, because I'm thinking like this whole time, when I got control back because of him messing up his ammo, I was like, man, I think he's getting nervous. I was like, so I think what's going to happen here is after this, he's going to freak out. And he's going to try to get shit back right away. And he's going to go for LG. I'm going to force him to spawn nail, and he's going to rush to LG. So I bait it. Catch him. And then as soon as I started this fight, I'm like, okay, I'm going to win this fight. There is no losing it. So then what's going to happen is he's going to spawn near Rocket, and Mega is coming up. And I'm going to all in there, and I'm likely going to, you know, lay down good spam. He's going to come from that way, and he's going to have to, like, all in me there. So I'm already thinking that. So I go through the portal. Boom, fire the rocket. And as soon as I hear that damage, and I'm like, oh shit, that was a dong. This game is over. Now, the worst thing that could happen is if he shoots 2 rockets here and I eat 2 directs. So the best thing for me to do is the unpredictable thing right now, is to jump straight ahead. Because look, he was going straight for it.
But the Mega's picked
And
up
now
Rafa
I
with
clean it
the
up. And so now I know, again, he has to make this back immediately. I'm going to rush to shotgun with my stack, defend the health. I don't think he has Peeker back yet, and I'm going to just defend the area for heavy.
to take the series away. Scrapes and victory.
And I get it again. He had to make the move. The time pressured him to do it. The time was his enemy.
That was Maxter's to win, and unfortunately, wrong decisions at the end. Extremely well played from both players.
So, a couple things for both of us was me. I messed up a couple times in the center area of the map.
I wonder if I could sneak up behind Rafa and harvest his sweat. Then I could consume it and have the esports career that I have always dreamed of. RPH Smart lol. Congrats as always, Rafa. I can't wait to watch stage 3.
Fury Energy, thanks for the 18-month Prime Gaming resub, and my sweat is my own. It's mine. Not sharing it. I mean, unless y'all are weird and you're trying to, that whole bathwater shit, you're trying to pay for like a couple $100 for a drip of sweat. All right, then I might do that. Get a drip of sweat, $500. Dude, that's like Tropic Thunder. What is it? Booty sweat? The drink? Holy shit. But back to the serious business. Thanks for the distraction, by the way. So at the center of the map, I needed, a couple opportunities where you want to listen to sound and react, and there's other times where you need to just hold
champ.
position and
Go.
hold your angle and like commit to that. And if they just show up elsewhere, that's fine. Just leave, then give up the position. So like just getting better at noticing that because of the champion matchup and how fast he could run through the portal, that I needed to lock that down there. That could have changed things much earlier on. And then as well, the whole dual wield situation, which, I talked about, and the fact that I didn't have heavy machine gun, how I should have played it differently based off of the amount of time that I still had before Mega came up, and could have created a better situation instead of playing straight up into a good strength of his. It was very
Rafa's
bad of
big
me.
brain game knowledge is so hard to implement into games.
For Maxter needs to work on his timing and his ammo management. If he works on his timing and his ammo management, he's already scary. He's gonna be that much scarier. Like his combat skills and mechanics are already right there, and like situational awareness with fighting is very good. But just you could see, as I pointed out quite a few times, those timing mistakes that he made and the positioning mistakes, it cost him. Like there were a few times in the game where we should have had a more drawn out battle for control for a while, but I was able to get full control a lot sooner because I was paying attention to the timing and the cycle better than he was. And that allowed me to know that as soon as I heard where he was, that's that information that I can instantly react to. And then I can go and get control back like that. All right, let me get to these alerts. Give me a second. These alerts. Missed it earlier. Howrix, thank you for the leet donation. And yeah, no problem, man. You're welcome. And then Sick Cakes, thank you for the 3-month Prime Gaming resub. Thank you. And then yeah, we already heard Fury Energy's weird resub alert. Monster Rar, thank you for the 19-month Prime Gaming resub. And Cyber Psychosis, thank you for the 3-month Prime Gaming resub. I mean, it is, but where you're saying like my game knowledge is hard to implement into games. Well, the reason why I'm able to implement what I do, so it's a few things. I'm able to implement what I do into the game because I'm completely focused on what I'm doing. That helps. but I have the fundamentals down. I probably play the fundamentals the best out of like anyone, probably. That's like it's that, and I track the enemy in my mind and think about what they're doing typically better on average than others. And that is because I move very, very well. So I know pretty much 95+% of the time exactly how fast people can move from A to B. So I know what their options are at all times. And I'm constantly thinking about what they're going to do, where they're going to be, etc. And that allows me to make those decisions and think about and how to gain advantages and then put pressure on them. Sometimes pressure is doing a lot, and sometimes pressure is literally just standing there and not doing jack shit. You're just not allowing them to obtain that position. It just depends. But yeah, no, I think people can do it, man. People can learn. They can play smart. They can play wicked smart. I believe. Double Helix 69. Thank you for the Prime Gaming sub. Thank you. You can't do so many things at the same time. Oruf, Zorak War. Rafa can't read you if you play poorly. That's the trick to beating him. Well, I mean, it's playing poorly and hitting everything. Like if you hit everything and I'm not hitting well, I'm gonna have a rough time. It's a shooting game. You have to at least be able to hit semi-consistently to give yourself a chance. Georgie, no idea, man. I hope so, but I don't have any news for anybody. And even if I did, it's not like I could tell you. I can't tell you shit. What I can tell you though, right now is if I do play Scalebearer this stage, if I get to, Scalebearer is the next champ that I have the belt on. So now I have Visor, Athena, Ranger, and Scalebearer. I picked it because it was actually one of Llama's favorite champs. She had a few, but it was one of her favorites. And then I wanted to keep the meme going for Wheat. The success of Scalebearer, despite what he thinks. Why do you think Cypher didn't perform as well in the final as he did in previous rounds? Well, to be honest, Cypher was playing very well, but I was playing pretty much picture perfect. I finally had games where my connection felt great the entire time. Against Avec and Venger, my connection felt pretty good for most of the matches. I just had against Venger, the first 3 minutes of Molten felt like shit. Which that's kind of why the score kind of got out of hand, because I was trying to trade and take easy fights because he was weak, and it just didn't feel good. And then finally felt good again. I stopped having packet loss fucking symbols at the top left and feel like that. And then yeah, Avec, it felt pretty good almost the entire time. So I mean, I LG'd 46% against him on Vulcan. But in the grand final, the entire time, I just felt free. I could do whatever I needed to do. Like if I missed, I missed. Everything that I was hitting just felt so smooth and just able to keep flowing, just keep doing what I needed to do, and just tried to live in his head and think about what he's going to do and deny him what he wants to do, like what makes him so great. And the first two maps were really close, especially the second one. The second one is one of the most fun games I've played. It reminds me of all the times that I had super close games on Toxicity and Arrowwalk and Hectic and Quake Live, that Deep Embrace that we played. But then just so what happened is on the third game, Cypher's down 0-2 in the series, right? So what he's trying to do is he's trying to flip momentum. And in the beginning, he played the start different. And instead of grabbing the Mega and the Heavy, like, because I spawned at Heavy, so he should get the Mega, or like around the exact same time. He tried to delay it and catch me out early. A, he didn't do a good enough job of doing that. And B, that bit him in the ass because he created this big gap and he failed within the first cycle. He failed to get that full control going, and it gave me everything. So he gambled and he lost. He went all in on that play to try to split the items by a lot and just run the map. And since he lost it, I gained absolute full control, and I just never let that shit go. I just constantly stayed in his face, constantly dealt damage, just always keeping the pressure on, giving him no options. And yep, all gas, no brake on that one. Yeah, it's one of the most perfect games I've played. So, but if he would have just grabbed the item regularly, or if he would have made the initial fight work, then he could have maybe gotten some momentum back and steamrolled the game. Because that was his mindset. That's what he was doing to try to get back into the series since he was down 0-2. He was like, well, I've been doing this so far and this hasn't worked. It's been close, but I haven't won yet. So let me try to get an advantage really early and see if I can take that as far as I can. And it didn't work out, and it went to me, and I never let it go. So the third map was standing. He was playing very well. Just like I said, I played perfect in the finals. There's been some finals in the past in Quake Live where that's like the last time we played DreamHack Winter 2013. Dude, I was playing really well, but he just played that slightly bit better, that bit more of perfection to beat me there. And I remember when I lost that final, I felt no. When you lose, sometimes you feel you left shit on the table. I didn't feel that. I was like, I put everything out there and I played my ass off, and he just managed to best me, So I could live with that at the end of the day. None but respect. Do I think I was playing the same Cypher as in 2013? In ways, I think Cypher is better now than he was then. But I think the biggest difference from us playing is I aim better than I used to. And so it was always really hard to play him. It's still really hard to play him. But the fact that I aim like I do now gives me more options than it used to. I don't have to play. How do I put this? I don't have to play as perfect, in terms of constant defensive decision making. Most of the game isn't in his hands now. If I can, I'm putting the pressure on, and I'm the one dictating the pace, if possible. If I can't, then I respect it and I play out of control and do what I need to do. But I spend less time out of control nowadays against him than I used to. I would have to find ways to win while he's in control for fucking 70% of the game. Or I'd have control and then he would pull off some crazy Cypher-esque fight and turn it around when he has almost nothing. And then lose control from that and still have to find a way to be to pull it back and not let that, affect me. I mean, Noxquake, I was playing this last stage. There were times where I'm playing Overwatch with friends. I just don't stream it. And I was playing fucking Doom Eternal. I started playing that again because of the add-ons. And I did all right. I just focused on Quake when I needed to, when it came down to crunch time. I think everybody did the same. So, especially the last 2 weeks leading up to it. Just a lot of, especially the European players, a lot of them chose not to stream their practice this time. They were practicing offline. The biggest thing about Cypher, I think, for this stage finals is when he was much more at ease with himself. If shit was going wrong, he wasn't getting as upset at himself, and he was playing with a clearer mind. And I think that's why it allowed him to hit as hard as he did, because he kept focusing on the next thing, which is exactly what you need to do. Yeah. Oh, okay, I think I'm done. I'm going to save my voice. I will review some more games tomorrow, so I think the next one in line would be Avec. The Avec match tomorrow, so I'll do that. So for now, I'm going to stop. I'll talk with you guys for a couple more minutes, but then I'm gonna peace out.
I don't play Quake, but love hearing your strategic take on the game and how you approach it. Love watching you and Ahang play.
Many me 42. Thank you for the 1500 bits, man. Thanks. Yeah, man. Just glad you're in the community, even if you're just watching. Quake welcomes you all. And Gutter, I saw your. What about Killer Instinct? I don't know. I mean, my Xbox One might have so much dust in it. I don't even know if it'll turn on. But yeah, I'll see after QuakeCon. So like near the end of the summer, I may start playing it a little bit because I might have a little more time. Because there might be like, who knows, there might be like a little more break like there usually is between like QuakeCon and if it's like more shit or whatever. Like if there is, then I'll play some then because I'll have a little bit more time on my hands. I just have to be, my problem is I have to be really careful that I don't overplay games so that I'm taking care of my wrist and my shoulder and whatnot. So I can still play games for fun, but it's definitely not like I can just sit there and play forever. Are they doing QuakeCon at home again? I have no idea right now. So I just look at it this way with the, like, even though we're getting like vaccines rolled out pretty well in the US, it's not necessarily the same like in other countries. So who knows about like travel restrictions? So I'm going to assume that it's a no. Now, who knows if they can like pull off a miracle and we can have a LAN event or something of some sort. Who knows? There's what, 3.5 months till then or some shit, because what is it about to be? May, June, July. I think it's sometime in August, if I'm not mistaken. I could be. It might be in July, but yeah. So who knows what happens between now and then? I'm just looking at it like it'll probably be online again, and if it is, then I'll just, you know, I'll prepare for that. I'll be vaccinated by then, and so cause that's the reason I didn't get to go to the East Coast. I would have went to the East Coast to play, to have like better ping, but since I wasn't, and like the time for signups to get it, I would have been taking like my first dose, like right around the tournament time, and I was like, since I'm not going to be able to travel anyway, I would rather not potentially have like side effects mid-tournament. So I was like, I'll just get it afterwards, and I'll be ready for the next one to be able to travel. Well. Yeah, there's a black screen for now. I'm just talking with you guys and I'm ending the stream. So I need to find my like break screen picture. It's like on my other computer or some shit. I just need to hook it up and then transfer it. But yeah, I definitely want to go east again because, like I said, since stage 1 finals, I've been having a lot of inconsistency with this connection. I've been having a lot of fucking packet loss at random times, and I was very fortunate that during some of my major matches that it felt good. But, you know, I'd like it to feel that way every game to give myself the best chance, so we'll see what happens. Did the matches with Wenger feel harder than with Cypher? I thought they both were really, really hard. I mean, dude, the comeback that I had to pull off on Molten was fucking ridiculous. Now, the game shouldn't have even gotten to that point in the first place, but like it shouldn't have gotten that far spread out, but it is what it is, and I somehow just this is Rafa that, you know. But yeah, Wenger was playing very, very well. I'll say, let's see here. So the first map was closer than I thought it would be. I didn't really hit many grenades during the matchup, which, you know, as if you're playing Kiel, especially against BJ, you need to be hitting those. So that's why that matchup was closer. And then Vale was like, again, like I said, for some reason, Vale, every single map I played of it in the tournament, the first like couple minutes, regardless of whether it was NA server or EU server, I just could not hit normally. It just felt very bad. And then it would feel good. It would like be bad for 3 minutes, 3-4 minutes, and then it would feel fine. But by that time, like I had already failed so many good fights. And I can't just play like assuming that it's going to be bad. Like I have to play that it's going to be okay and then adapt from there. Not just like assume the worst right away. And so I would get behind and then I wouldn't be able to come back. Yeah. And then what was it? Deep Embrace against Venker should have been fucking over with like 2-3 minutes left, but he pulled off some of the craziest shit off this one respawn and then hit this awesome midair rocket on one of my grapples and got full control back when the game should have just been over. But was I surprised that Racy wasn't in the final again? Not necessarily that wasn't in the final, but I mean, I think it's just it was such a crazy series between him and Nosfa, man. It was nutty. I mean, it's not as though Racy was in bad shape. Nosa definitely got lucky on Molten. Definitely did. But I think, like, dude, on that Awoken, Nosa played phenomenal. Like, very sound game, hit really hard, played very smart. But yeah. All right. I'm going to peace out. Let me see who's on right now. Looks like Dramas is playing some, actually. He's playing Davis in some duels. So I'm gonna host Dramas. Hope you guys enjoy. Like I said, I'll be on tomorrow for some more reviewing. I don't know if I'm gonna play, but I'll at least review the Avec match tomorrow. Should be fun. So, love you guys. Take care. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.